A special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, right at the south.
To get your information, to the food to be fashion, spoon, spoon, spoon television, spoon, spoon, spoon Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to the spoon, you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to the spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to the spoon. You want to know what is happening, Morocco, to the spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to the spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to the spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. You from Bonjama, Maryland, to the spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. If you eat a pan, regular, my brother, to the spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to the spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. You want to get a news update, to the spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? TV. Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV. Spoon. Spoon entertainment. Go to there. Go to there. On the spoon. Yes,
You're that guy.
It's crispy.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, right at the south. On the beat.
To get your information, to the food to be fashion, spoon, spoon, spoon television, spoon, spoon, spoon. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to the spoon, you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to the spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to the spoon. You want to know what is happening, Morocco, to the spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to the spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to the spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. You from Bonjama, Maryland, to the spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. If
Oh, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy right at the South Bend. Charges on the beat.
To get your information.
Oh yeah. It's another beautiful day in Monrovia. A great way to start the week with another edition of the program Spoon Talk. We're back on your radio across the internet, across the 15 counties of Liberia with the program Spoon Talk. This is where you get the news. This is where you get the information. You get the update. You get to know what's happening across the country. Bring you up to speed with the happenings across the country, the major happenings. We make sure
You want to get it new.
you get to have a say in what's happening in the country
You want to know what is happening more of
right here on Liberia's premier talk show on radio and online. The Spoon Talk. As always, we're live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1. Thanks to our partner radio stations across the country for always relaying the program. We're live in several counties by means of relay. Thanks to Trust FM in Bomi County, Premier FM in Bong, Trend Radio in Grand Cruz, Radio Yalaman in Seclipi, Niba County, and all the other radio stations that are making this possible, relaying the program across the different counties of Liberia. We also live across the world on our social media handles. You can find us on Spoon TV on Facebook, Fabric TV on Facebook, Super TV on Facebook, and of course on YouTube. Our handle is Spoon Talk Live. We want to welcome all of you tonight. My name is Nelson Colette. This edition of Spoon Talk is loaded. Lots of information for you coming your way tonight. So we want you to join the program tonight and share the show as you join in across your social media handles. Let's hope we can have a great show here tonight. Welcome to all of you coming up. Natalie, aka OPS1, thank you for joining us. Elizabeth Kula, Phil, Bwakaji Kawa, and the many of you joining us tonight. We appreciate you for coming on. Per Kimball, thank you for joining us. Waka Soap the Summer, joining us from Nimba County. Keep sharing the program as you join us tonight. Morris Moses Mogai is joining in from Jacobtown, and the many of you, hundreds of you, have already joined in. So just keep sharing the program. Tell someone, tell another someone, and tell the next person the Spoon Talk is back on. Helen Troll, that's Helena Troll, Frank Siawe, Anthony Wimpie, Lincoln Morris, James Cordor, the many of you joining in tonight. Just keep sharing the program as we kickstart this edition of the program Spoon Talk. Well, as we always do, we dedicate the first segment of the program to you, our followers, to call in, to weigh in your thoughts on the different happenings in the country. Let us know what those issues are that are of concern to you. What is it you want to talk about tonight? Is it about the health sector, education, the environment, sanitation? You want to talk about the happenings in your community? Bring to the attention of the policymakers those issues that are affecting you. We dedicate the first segment of the program to you so that you speak out on the different issues that are of concern to you. So we're going to be doing just that. With so many happenings, you will get the details when the program starts, when the CEO and the rest of the team are here to take you through this edition of Spoon Talk. But we're going to go to the phone lines as we always do. Take your calls. Let's hear what your thoughts are. What is it you want to talk about tonight? And the numbers to call: 0555-101075, 0555-101075. I'll put a WhatsApp up that you can call as well in case you want to make an input tonight an input on the program. This is Spoon Talk, and thanks to all of you for joining us. Let's hope we can activate all of the lines and get the conversation flowing tonight. So keep sharing the program. I see a lot of you have joined us. Just keep sharing the show as we take you through this edition of the program. Let's take our first caller here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from. Sorry, I think there's an issue here. Okay, hello, are you there?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. You're live on the show.
Yeah, nothing. This is Abdul Khan, and I join you from the compound of the Mighty Congress for Democratic Change in Odas, Congo Town.
Abdul, it's good to have you on the show. What's on your mind, sir?
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you. Nelson, what's on my mind is the way the country is running on Mr. Boakai and his associates. Nelson, you are aware of the happenings today, where the court took a decision on somebody that was convicted, and the executive used their power to release the man from in jail. The Fadiga's brother was sent to jail by the court, and the executive interfered. Where are we hearing? You sat here, lawmakers were beaten by police, dragged from the chambers. Under Mr. Boakai, so many things happening. People are being kept under police custody for more than the stipulated time. Some people going almost like 3 weeks. Up to now, the police is here to send them to court. Where is our country headed?
Thank you.
Let me be very honest to you. Mr. Boakai needs to be reminded that he's not running a jungle state. He's not running a junta regime. This is a democratic regime that the people voted. He won through the democratic process.
Thank
you.
You
need to respect the law and make sure that you do the needful things. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input tonight. We keep the calls coming. 0555-101075. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Let's hear you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
My name is Michael Escavian.
Michael, what's on your mind? Let's hear you.
So what is on my mind tonight? I really want to continue about this particular individual that can be on the show, what they call Uncle Sam. It's Uncle Sam, man.
Oh.
So very question. I ready a discussion show. It's on a peaceful discovery. They want a discussion on the media, which is on the radio. My way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because most of the time, in a discussion on the radio, it look like someone that not really get hot for the country. I'm a listener for small events when it comes down up to person. For Uncle Sam discussions about it make me listen to event because in a discussion, why people can be discussing the rebel way you don't really go out of
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your input tonight.
Thank you very much.
Hello, your name and where you call from? Let's hear you.
Also this is go past the Nima County.
Yeah, let's hear you, brother. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Next thing, what on my mind has to do with the economy.
Okay.
Next thing, as I always said, the economy of this country is not in the hand of Liberia again. They are going to dump it. You know, the aliens, they're killing this country to exploit our resources and get back in the country. When you look on the street of Nimba, they're all in the villages. Aliens, like the Indian people, the Lebanese are putting their goods in car from village to village suddenly. And we the Liberians have no chance. We can go in a store and buy the thing, wholesale account to sell it by retail to get little profit on it. But they are taking it from our store, carry it on the street to go and sell. And when you look at the front view of our country, the Lebanese and the Indians are taking the front view.
Okay.
And the government is not doing enough.
Thank you.
We the Liberians have built this country. When it remain like this, Liberia will remain poor. When you go into Africa, we cannot allow Indian men to sell their store or their capital. The Ivorians have to sell their capital. Even when you go to Ghana, they don't allow any Indian man or Indian man or Lebanese man to sell their capital. You will get arrested if they say in the name of Ghanaian. So let the government see really the killer can't rescue, but they're not rescuing, they're killing off.
Thank you very much for your input tonight. Let's hold you there. Take this person. Hello, your name and where you joining us from?
Yeah, I'm Robert Shu. I'm calling from my president.
Rabbi, what's on your mind? Rabbi, your line is bad though.
Yeah, what is hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting you. What is on my mind is concerning my Unity Party brothers who always there to attack the panelists on the show. Things I already said the show that Liberian people show, you say your own, the people say that one. So if you don't feel people this spoon, you gotta get up to reload the word. Minister interview me, director interviewing director, you can go there. But every time your manager call on the show, you'll be attacking panelists, you are able to see the people working for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Your name and where you come
Yeah,
from?
yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello. Let's hear you.
Yeah, that the chairman that just left the land, whole day, just what I need, there is more. I don't want for him to be pleased with just what I need. It actually says, sitting here, they put money in your phone to talk about Boga, let you leave Boga. Excuse.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello? Yeah, hello. How are you?
Good evening to Spoon FM family and good evening to my loving people of the Republic of Liberia and good evening to you, dear Nation Collect Institute in Liberia.
Good evening to you, sir. It's good to have you on. What's on your mind?
Yeah, this is Alfonso A.F. Kamara. I do join this conversation this evening from a peaceful resident to be pursued transformer community within District Number 10, relatively old road. What actually on my mind have to do with two issues, but all is embedded with one aspect. I will see very quickly in my time frame. I want to also congratulate and salute the MD, Mo Ali, for his level of work. We can see the water distributions around Monrovia and its environs at large, as the entire country. I can see places like Bapuru, people can call today and say that they are receiving pipe bore water. We are grateful for that aspect. For that case. I also have comments to make, and my comments have to go to the Ministry of Lands and Mines and Energy and Minister of Lands and Mines and Energy, Wimope. Minister Wimope needs to work and he needs to put things on the seal.
Thank you.
Illegal money in our country today is becoming so much terrible. And when we get credence to those things to continue to happen, probably next future occurrences for our next generation. So I urge more Minister Wimope, please see reason. Take your survey, go to Coastal Belt, Monrovia, you will feel bad. They are marking this country very ugly. So I rest my case and I give all the chances to talk.
Thank you very much for your input tonight. We take this person. Hello. Let's hear you.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. It's good to have you on.
Thank you. So good for one night in the community.
So who was it?
Next the thing that I was still talking you today about John Nyati. Next who here they say government one use the now waste this. But the thing that cannot get me, that the one that made me laugh is this. They promised the man 1,000. The man refused. According to him, 50,000 go to 100,000, 200. Or 250. You know, other about the food. The food where you can eat the 100 a year, or 150, or either 200 or 50 then you accept the food. Then in the other regulation, you say they gain 2,000 who accept the country? Who will think that can say so that now if you get one step, maybe in the economy, someone will count you 50 to say another one. By the way, what is government get the thing that kind of thing that they show government they want the integrated government will look at if you 2,000 to do to someone is a good out to somebody. Let me this. The president will be set on our full for not being house. They kept that baby was born. I never say whether that they don't want that because of nothing speakership this kept that baby was born. And that's what that he will be declared the second will go to buy election here. Because that would no way they'll be in that they'll be prosecuted, go to jail, and they'll pay that the damage that they cause water. Because they all over this season out there for that you the counselor, you learn what they had a counselor in that boy. See the lead if you come to listen to someone today, they follow why you today, not coming in country. We told you say this is political. Resign, they let you know. Danish Yamada will say no. But at the end, why you do? And resign. If you come to resign peacefully, but now you all get a respect. But now, you know respect. Now look at the way
Thank you very much.
You make it for me that she said.
Thank you very much for your input, sir. Thanks a lot. We take another person here. Keep your calls coming. This segment of the program is what's on your mind. We want to know what those different issues that are, what those different issues of concerns are to you. What exactly is it that you want to talk about? Is it about health, education, just anything you want to talk about? No specific topic at this point. Is about you voicing your concerns, talking about those different issues that you think the public needs to know about. So we will continue taking your calls, and we'll keep taking your calls on 0555-101075, and you'll be live on the program. Let's take this person. Hello, you are live. Let's hear you. Okay, this person. Hello.
Justin.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening, my friend.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I remain civilized, that's about Peter Macaulay, and I joined from District 9, most of the country as a football defender.
Okay.
Nothing, absolutely, I'm not a green shirt person, and I will not be a green shirt person, meaning Unity Party. But, during the campaign time, Liberian told some of us that Kennedy Bwaka Adem, he knew our governance, he had contact, he had friends, and in fact, when we gain the country, you will see company, you will see job, and everything will be wasting the concern on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
But since President Bwaka took the mantle of power, in fact, that was the 17th of January 2023, 24, when President Bwaka, his current Minister of State, when he saw a paper, sent it to NASCO to receive 500,000. Now the first starting part of the corruption came to the no corruption. That made me straight. I lost confidence that the paper received them for the public corruption in the DNA. How are you? You are president-elect. You have stolen the first 500,000. Or no corruption for you are 80. Today, President Bola said that no corruption or investigation is true. But let me say this. President Bwaka brings suffering on Liberian people. Today, it has become an achievement in Liberia. The first rate in question number 200. Yesterday, when President Joshua you are 200. Look, the opposition are there. They were running around with that information. Oh, the people dying. You are to. So, President, as you and your minister or your mayor, to the center bank, why not do what they read? Send up the people. Only 4 number 9. Why you want to work on the yes. So, yesterday, you were now.
Thank you.
You are taking the people phone and buying dollar check and run the world. Like a commercial check right in Liberia, President Bwaka. Why you could know some of that is? President Bwaka, no president see you, but people that force you against the country.
Thank you for your input. Hello, your name and where you call from? Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you kindly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me feel good to those who are following the show. My name is Hussein. I'm Hussein Kew. I call from Jacobstown. So what is on my mind? Firstly, let me say welcome back to Mr. President and his delegates. I know it will be a difficult thing for this government, but I know they will succeed. Because this country will destroy in the last 8 years. Every fabric of our society was destroyed. Our passport landed in the hands of criminals. Ministries and agencies were burned down. They stole money from the country. Our children were sitting on the bare floor. Absolutely nothing. But today you have a serious-minded government that has come and seeking the welfare of the people want to criticize. Take for example, next thing, 3 separate branches of government and the executive, the president, have created space of independence that the judiciary can work and function without any interference by the executive. In the last 6 years, we saw the president and the de facto president majority would pick up phone and call a judge or associate judge of any of the subordinate court or Supreme Court and interfere with that decision. Today, President Buhari created a space that judges can freely, auditors can go about audit, anti-graft institutions now have some independence. Oh, I want to say thank you to Mr. President. So it is not about the next election, because this is why I destroy this country, because people thinking that tomorrow is election, so they can go about taking high court actions. But this president knows is the future generation. Thank you to Mr. Bwaka and those who work in the different branches. You can be an example. This president set an example. Let's say that will lead our unborn generation. They will come in history will tell them that this was the best president in history of our country. Thanks to Mr. Bwaka.
Thank you very much
who are working tirelessly in
for your input tonight. Let's see if we take another person. Hello. You are live. Your name and where you joining us from? Let's hear you. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Yes, sir. I'm okay. It's good to have you on.
Yeah, I'm Moses Toba calling from Johnsonville.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Nigerian, we the veterans, we need to be wise.
Okay.
Our government, they country 100+ years, no improvement. It was just criminal that was in power for 12 years, and they stole our country resources. They said no company, and today they are bringing the same company to exploit our country resources. Which of course they are still country that book today. A baby boy has come to bring changes in Africa. Why should the people keep suffering? Or other people who know they will do anything for themselves, they say to be forcing us, President Bwaka, President, who is he? Or what are really they basing on to do for themselves in life? That it doesn't want to hear people talking about Bwaka. Bwaka have ruled the country for 47 years. What he had him from away in the community to show that this I have done for my people in the country.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your input tonight. Great question. But you say 47 years anyway. Hello. Let's hear you. Your name and where you call from.
This is Adama Kane, President Bwaka first son. We are not here for politics. The well-government President Bwaka, the protection that our God is on you. Nobody will tell you the protection of Fofana, the protection on the speaker, the protection on the man that runs this job for. In Yuma can do the cooker, and I see you. That never they are seeing by my birthday. God will bless you. We pray for you. I see now, Mama. I just in politics. Me and God will pray for this country because when you succeed, I pray succeed. There's a man God will continue protecting you, and you protect the speaker, and you tell him protect Fofana, and you tell him protect the representative that is in interest of you for the country to develop.
Thank you, sir.
You, the protection on you too. And
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your input tonight. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you are live. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Augustine. I'm calling from Bonafont Telecom Community.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
What my mind is, my how to do with that frustrated citizen who are sitting court all over the country to them for 6 good years. What they did, they loot the country, they only prioritize the partisan, they turn around again, they get them, and the question mobile money account. This is not the way country is supposed to be. The way country is really is better. This one people is damage the country since they are under their regime. The only achievement they get from international world was highly corruption, sanction, the sanction of government. While the only moral they get to discuss in the issue when it comes to corruption.
Thank you.
People, they are ungrateful people and they are shameless people. They are shameless people. They don't.
Thank you.
They don't even shame when they discuss the issue and like this. Man, I can't on certain Waterspoon radio station. You are not the same man was the cause that Waterspoon radio station may be closed today. Well, certain Waterspoon radio station attend to be a radio station today. So we are not the same people.
Thank you for your input. Let's hold you there and take another person.
Thank you.
0555 101075. Hello, you are live. Let's hear you.
Yes, nothing. And good evening to the family.
Yes, sir.
So let me say a very big thanks to President Makai, the development hero for this country since 1847, as records are being set. We know those physicians, they are angry because they are not being receiving mobile money, fake money created. So they will every evening a man, a civil assembly will call and give recommendations. And we are thinking about that. All we would tell the president is the developmental agenda. Don't be distracted. We will not listen to them. And come 2029, we will make sure that those sanitary physicians, as they have been referred to, will never and ever take power. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your input. This person, hello. Okay, so let's see if we can switch this way. Take some more calls from this line. Oh,
Why you bring me on?
I don't know who pressed the button. Somebody.
Everybody calling. I won't call myself. I want to call also. I mean, the line is hot today, Nelson. The line is crazy hot. But go ahead, take your calls. But that's upload my video now. But you not upload anything.
No, the videos are up. I got.
The people calling them mad. I mean, they're either mad at the government or they're mad at CDC. I don't know, Nelson. I mean, a lot of anger out there. Thomas Fala said that social creatures, cockroaches. Vicious are cockroaches. What Thomas Fala said, I may say, the president came back today, President Joseph Yema Pakrapo. Waka came back today in the country. He said, the message was agriculture, agriculture, but hey, we'll leave that one for another time. But he came in not on private jet though, Nelson, not on private jet.
Wow.
Because BBC said, listen, my man, but we'll get into the show, Nelson. We'll get into this whole private jet and Joseph Boakai explanation, but the Liberian people deserve better. I enjoy the people calling. Seriously. So let's continue to take calls, guys. Welcome to the show, wherever you are. The rest of the team coming on tonight. Again, we'll discuss. Avi Kumar is coming on. We'll discuss about Fadiga, the situation with Hussein Fadiga. And we're talking about Lakra. Lakra is in the house. Big corruption issue on Lakra as well. And I'm hearing that Abdullah Kamara is speaking out, since he was suspended, he's speaking out. Anthony Cole, VP, I don't know what the VP stands for, Tipos, Pickett Dempster, Bwaka Sama is in the house, Harris Willie, Setu Supply, is here, Fumba Sese, the voices of Lawalazo is in the house. We're going to bring Caroline with Sea Breeze Web. Oh, you know what they call Sea Breeze?
No.
Wait, I gotta flag the person. I want to make sure Sea Breeze Web, and that's how Breeze Web, right? And that's why you're saying.
Yeah.
Sea Breeze Web. So I'll leave that one for Sedition. They know who Sea Breeze is. And Nathaniel Hill say. Hasi, your Carolina, I'll call your name, I'll pull it up and off. Oscar Zimbi. How do you pronounce his name?
Zigben, he's always calling. Yeah, from Ganta.
Yeah, but let's see if we can pronounce it right? It didn't just jump. Hold on 1 minute, let me get it. How do you pronounce this? They call it from Gompa City. Name by the man is a Pabwa. Oh, the man. That's the man. Is Ziegwin, something like that. How do you pronounce it, Nelson?
The man is Zigben. He's always calling Oscar Zigben.
Zigben, okay. Gamen gave floor. Gamen, how you doing, man? Watching from Silver Spring, Maryland. Man, Gamen, how are you? Well, let's bring in Emmanuel. What Emmanuel say here? Emmanuel Keke. Mr. Keke is in the house. Abu Dukle. Abu Dukle, CO1. Hey, Abu to CO2 to you, Abu Dukle. Abu CO2 Tango, Sunshine calling over. Prince Johnson, widow is hired by Joseph Yimabwaka. on the NPA board. Again, that was a good one, though. The late Senator Prince Johnson West, the president said, go and sit down to the board at NPA. Senator Prince Yeru Johnson, the late. Hey, man. Hey, my papi. Yeah. Yeah, man. If I call that senator, I can feel so bad. That one of the things that I used to rejuvenate me. We used to have some serious conversation. I miss Senator Johnson, though. I do. I seriously do. He used to give me all the G's and all the in and out. And he would say, my son, stand on my son. And that's how he started conversation. But again, I'm glad that President Barker put his wife on the board of NPA. That was a good one. Lavette is here. Lavette, hello, my Spoon family. Hello, Lavette Bundo. I see Dr. Richardson is back. Dr. Richardson is on. How you doing, Dr. Richardson? Good to see you.
Doing good. Oh, hello. How you doing, Nelson? Hello. You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Dr. Richardson.
Yeah,
it's good.
I'm going to ask our people, Japas, how you pronounce this one? H-N-E. Is that him?
Yeah, him.
Is that how you pronounce it? H-N-E? Ne or him? Ne or him? Which one?
I think it's him.
You say no traditionally.
That's just for name. I think that's the N-E. The H is silent, probably. I think so. I mean.
In traditionally, they got silent letter too?
Oh, yeah. It goes to Nigeria. Most of their first letter silent. Mike Briswell from Rhode Island. What's up, Mike? It's good to know. Television say it's hot. It's so hot. I'm serious. It's crazy hot, Nelson. And and all you need to do just jump straight in the pool.
Wow.
I try to take the heat off and let the pool run, and for the water to just be a natural water, no heat on. I didn't put a heater on, and the pool water is good. So I believe when we leave from here by 7 p.m. today, that will be 11 p.m. Liberian time. You just go straight in the pool. If you don't know how to swim, don't go there. It's 9 feet deep, 9 feet deep, and you are Mia. If you can swim, Nessie, you know what they call Mia?
No.
No,
I think in the context, I think I understand now.
Wait. So none of y'all don't know what they call Mia. No, you say you ready? Don't know. Let's ask the people. What ready to call Mia? If you go swimming, you Mia, you done. That's it. So what do you call Mia? That's it.
The person by.
Yeah, you a Mia, you a drown. Now what they call Mia? Hey God, where you coming from? So what part of Liberia you coming from, man? Hey God. I mean, it's hot. So Philip Bada says 101 degree, and that's Pennsylvania though, right next door. Wherever you are, Gamen Cassidy, you're right. You're Mia, you're dry, you're laying in the water. But listen, wherever you are, just give me, tell me, maybe it's 96 degree at your end, Dr. Richardson. I mean, at your end, what we're talking about here. When I hear Dr. Richardson, you're always muted.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone because I have not been outside today.
So
let me see what the temperature in this part of the world, where it's this idea.
Why you do that? Let me ask this person. Your name, where you joining us from?
Hey, I'm man, calling from Minnesota.
Talk to us.
Hey, man, one person came, look at me in the pool, Mia. Somebody got to Mia you.
No, you a Mia though. If you dry, you dry. But don't never go in the pool alone anyway. Don't never go in the pool alone.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
That's good. All right, so let's get Daniel and James set. 122 degrees in Kansas City, I believe it. And, that place is hot, but it's good that you joined us. Daniel, stay indoor. Keep the children indoor. Let's see. Mike Bracewell say it's 95 degrees. No joke. Where he is for Ireland, it's 95 degrees. Let's talk about this person. It's 100 degrees in the part of North Carolina. Yanquet Malayan say it's 100 degrees.
It's 96 degrees over here.
And Dr. Richardson, just south of Maine, it's 96 degrees. Right now, we're talking about 99 degrees here in Burlington. Let's see what Maddie is saying. Maddie Gibson saying it's 87 degrees in my state. Which state are you, Maddie? We want to know your state. Matthew saying is 88, 87 degree. Let's talk about where you're joining us from. Just give us the temperature. Amelia Scott saying is 72 degree. You got to tell us the state you are joining us from. All right. Providence, Rhode Island, Tipo Speaker Dempster saying it's 95 degree in Providence, Rhode Island, 67 degree in North Dakota. Now, North Dakota is always cold, so I'm not too surprised that it's kind of dropping over there, right? But if you are joining us from in these United States, let us know. Sean Wright saying it's 99 degrees in Phoenix now. It's 99 degrees. That thing gonna go up. It's gonna go up. Justina Connor saying it's 100 degrees. Who is this Justina Connor? Is this Justina Gate? That heard Justina Connor now? Did she change her name, Nelson?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'm just asking. But let's go to Garman Geflor. Garman says 100 degrees in Maryland. Wow, that thing hits in Othello. Othello is saying that it's 97 degree in PA. Guys, continue to share the show. Let us know. It's hot here in New Jersey. Tell me, I mean, your temperature from your area, you got to stay indoor. Let's go to Thomas Muna Senior, 81 degree in South Dakota. Yes, indeed, that thing going to go up. I don't know if I will believe this person. Probably is true. Republic of, what kind of guy is this? People Republic of Heaven. What's that? 150 degree? Is this the richest? Where they coming from?
What is that?
They may say 150 degree in the People Republic of Heaven.
Oh, I thought somebody helped. Somebody hot.
I thought like People Republic of China. You say heaven. I don't know about this one.
I thought
All right, so let's bring in Richard Bala. Richard Bala said, Middletown, Pennsylvania, almost men in the hotel. The message almost me in the hotel pool back in the days, but it's 101 degree in Middletown. Yes, you guys got to stay on. Cologne, Zaire, 100 degree in Texas. I believe it, though. I believe it. Let's see where you are. Doe Williams, what's up, my brother? 96 degree in Georgia. All right, let us know where you're joining us from. We want to just put on this thing. If you're joining any part of the United States, Jerome Gompala, degree in South Bend, Indiana, 95 degree right now. So the heat coming on this end, folks. So if you're in New York, if you're in Washington, if you're in Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, let us know. If you're somewhere far, New England area, let us know. We want to know. Bill Castle is joining us from where, Bill? Where are you joining us from? Let's see, 104 degree at his headquarters, Louisville, Maryland. It's like 3 hours from Maine. It's 104 degree. Bill, you got to be indoor, my man. Put the AC on. I'm watching from Congo Town. What is it in Congo Town? Is it raining, Nelson? Is it hot, Nelson? Congo Town, Liberia? What is it?
Rainy day. It's been a rainy day here today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go to Fargo, 96 degree. Ramatula, Ramacha. Oh, right, that's the name, I believe.
Carolyn Waller is watching from Texas. I think she says 102 degrees there.
Wow. So definitely want to go up. You got to let us know. Let flag there. We still got time. You know, our show will be starting. AB Kumar coming on. We'll be speaking with AB lawyer, Councilor Serena Sifos on the issue between he and the Fadigas brothers. You know that. And again, this week, there will be a big hearing from the ECOWAS Code concerning the gentleman Sharif that was turned over by the Liberian government to the junta. We're going to discuss it. We got a lot of stuff to discuss today, my people. Big corruption issue at LACRA. LACRA under Ministry of Agriculture, they are stealing, and it's so bad. Now, people are asking, when you send Fadiga to jail, who released him? Thank God we have the counselor here. The counselor will let us know, and you know, the legal mindset as to how Fadiga got released, whether on a technicality, again, we'll know. But guess what? Fadiga was released today. Again, I don't know. Listen, why was he sent to jail? Contempt of court, or you were actually sent to jail? Now, this is some very, very serious time. And guess what? If you are sedition out there, Deputy Speaker, Thomas Farasi, your cockroaches. Thomas Farasi, your creature. He support the United Party 100%. I'm not saying it. Thomas Father saying it. Listen to him briefly.
That's what I said to the president. I said, Mr. President, for me, I'm not a unity party man, right? But this government, as long as I'm a local man, I'm from local country, and I'm a citizen, and I'm part of this government, I'd like for the record to state here, I support this government 100%. I support the president and his agenda. So someone was saying, Thomas Father we saw a few months ago, and keep fire, this is the keep fire. So let the message go local, it's one local now. We're moving in one direction. We are moving in one direction, except someone want to convince me why we should not move in one direction. Because I was under the water, I was under the river, right? So I know the pictures are out there. So you can tell me about the pictures that are under the creek.
Well, Thomas Father said, Joe, we are a creature. Thomas Father said, my girl is a creature.
He knows a creature that he caught it.
Yeah, the man caught him. When who are under the water with Thomas Father? Thomas Father said, former speaker for that Kofa is a creature. That was saying it. The man said they are cockroaches. They are creatures. Now, why couldn't Thomas Father do this? We'll get to him. Yeah. But look at the party chairman, though. This is an old video, but I like to bring it up because we want to talk about something. The party chairman couldn't tell us something straight. That's my own man, Reverend Tapper, but I enjoyed this video again. I just keep it in the back of my mind, you know, to remind Liberians. This is the Unity Party chairman, the Reverend Luther Tapper.
President Braga would never do that. He would never rob this country, I can assure you.
Mr. Chairman, is your government corrupt? Oh, it's going to answer that one.
The man said you can't answer it. I'm not saying it. The party chairman is saying it. The man said I can't answer that one. Is your government corrupt? The man can't answer it. Well, it was just a direct hit on the money. He said he can't answer it. I don't know why he couldn't answer. That's an easy question to answer. And we also want to say that the President Joseph Yamabwaka return. I beg you, Nelson. Please put up this video, Nelson. Please. You get all the video, put them up. Don't put some of them up. Don't want to say that again. We're going to be having a great show today. Today is the 23rd of June, 2025. National issue on Spoon Talk. I want to just remind all of you, if you're doing your business, don't forget, our sister going to be setting her Dumba Festival now. When? That will be August 9, 2025. That will be August 9 at 12:30 p.m. If you know mankind, call her, please. She will set the best Dumba on the hot table. And we want to say, listen, wherever you're joining us from, I welcome Dr. Richardson, and I welcome my counselor, my brother, the man that can come in 3, 4, 5 times in the day. He called me a lot, but let's welcome him. Dr. Richardson, welcome to the show. Counselor Good, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stanton. I'm just want to just tell everybody that there's severe heat warning going out there. We started out with the weather is 96 degrees in my area, my neck of the wood, but it does say one of the things that I like about the weather is it tells us every hour that it's going to be warm and hot. So be careful while you're out there. Make sure that you stay indoors or go in a pool or something like that, because it's heat stroke is real. It's really real. Short of that, I'm interested in hearing all of the different topics that we have on the agenda tonight, and also expressing my views about them.
Yeah, thank you very much. Don't forget, A.B. Kurma is coming to tell his side of the story. We'll be speaking to Serena Seafers. Again, we have a ruling coming up this week on the ECOWAS code that these men will be representing their client, Councillor Kabina Jordan, former Supreme Court Associate Justice, and Councillor Serena Seafers, former Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia. They will be representing the client at the ECOWAS code. So we hear from them, and we see the expectation of those rulings. And I also want to say to all of you, Fadiga, our brother, that was on our show, he was in court today. He was sent to jail. And these are the released documents. After a few 30 minutes or so, we received this release that Fadiga should be released. You are hereby commanded to release from your legal custody the living body or bodies of the above named defendant Hussein Fadiga, who was placed in your custody on Monday, June 23rd, 2025. You are further commanded to make your official returns endorsed on the back of the original copy of this commitment as to the manner and form of its service, and file same in my office immediately upon executing the order. It's so good that we have our brother here with us. He will explain. Now, these are different issues, different times, but we are blessed to be here to explain it. Also, as you can see, Fadiga surrounded by court securities. Again, they were ready to take him. Fadiga in front of the sub beach. I think that's sub beach. Yes, he was right there. We'll discuss it fully. Now we got videos. One of the most important video I'd like to tease you on today before we bring in our brother. After all of this, something happened between Fadiga and Ebi Kumar. Nelson, did you put that video up? Is it up? And only Nelson can tell us whether we will play or not. I will continue on the room.
What that fucking shit in my contest with you? I will put you out. What I said to
all right, so we will give you the entire video. This was today after Fadiga was released. They were in a restaurant. I mean, thank God that we have our people all over. We'll give you the whole thing of that video. It was crazy, but Amy will be here to tell us exactly what was going on. Folks, I want to tell you, share the show. Now, you cannot go outside because it's too hot if you're in the United States. If you're home, you cannot go outside because it's lit right now. It's going to be 9 o'clock. So you just got to be home and you just got to turn on to Spoon, right? You got to turn here. Just continue. Take your cell phone, take your computer and share the show right now. Right now, you got to share the show in every chat room, share the show in every social media outlet, Facebook, YouTube, all over. Let's make progress. A lot to be discussed today. And finally,
Resident agriculture is first and foremost.
The President, Sylvester Chirople, work for Spoon that work. All of these agreements, they are very good and unique to Liberia. But is there any timeline for implementation for all of these agreements, arrangement with these companies or international partners?
So we will come and tell you more about the returns of the president. He came back home today, not on private jet, not on private jet. We will be discussing that. Let's see our brother, Councilor Lafayette Go. Councilor Go, welcome again. It's good to see you, my brother.
Thank you, Stanton, and good evening to Dr. Richardson and Phoebe Henrys, who just joined. I hope that they will have a good discussion. I'm just waiting for whatever you have on the plate, and we'll discuss the ones we able to give our opinion in, give our opinion. Ones that we think that we shouldn't speak about, we will not speak about them. So I hope that we have a
on a gag order? Are you on a gag order that you can't speak on anything? Seriously?
My man, I place myself on my own gag order. Nobody can put gag order on me. You know me, Stanton. You know I'm not. I don't hear anything.
Because I heard that the Solicitor General Fire put a gag order on you.
You ready again? You ready? You move from where it needs from also to where you cannot do Solicitor General again. The next way you go to County Antonio.
You send someone to beg us also to where? You know, also to where, if you want to talk to also to where, just talk to. I'm not even going to also to where. I know the man whole secret. I'll pull it up one day. So I'm not going there with also to where. But again, it's good that also to where not after you now because Fire is a good man. The Solicitor General is a good man. I must tell you something. I'm not. If you want things, don't call him. He's a reasonable dude, you know. And I believe that you probably talk to him. I'll reach out and ask him whether you appeal to.
But Stanton, in the first place, let's be frank, where nobody threatened me. Nobody can, and the people can threaten. I know I can't say nobody can threaten.
No, nobody threaten you, or nobody can threaten you.
No, nobody threatened me. Not that people can. Anybody can put threat. You know what I'm saying? But with the threat, what would the threat do to me?
So go down, brother, because you're not taking another spin. When you question about your job in Kenya, representing Liberia interests, when you question about this government,
never.
When you question, never
question about any government
Can
official.
I ask just to get more information, Counselor? So you representing Liberia in Kenya? You work with the Liberian government in Kenya?
I work with the Liberian government, yeah. I'm an employee of the government of Liberia.
Oh, and you work at the embassy?
I'm an employee of the Ministry of Justice, yeah. I came here as a
man is working on Oswald 12. Oswald 12 can fire him as well. Pleasure, he can fire him.
No, I can't. I'm a civil servant. I'm not
a presidential appointee. You can't.
I'm a civil servant. Before you fire a civil servant, there are procedure. No other civil servant and they can fire and they can't do anything. Now they want you. CDC time they try to do it in work. In work. Because they didn't have anything to dismiss me or force me to resign. A good Sereno Silva coming to know, you can ask him.
No, Sereno Silva like you. He said you're a Peking, he like you. He seriously.
Well, I work with Sereno Silva. I work with Sereno Silva. I work with the first Solicitor General for 5 years. I work with the second Solicitor General for 1 year. I work with the third Solicitor General for 2.5 years, who was Sereno Silva. I work almost 9 years as special assistant to the Solicitor General. Councillor Blambo 5 years, Councillor Butago Molova 1 year, and Sereno Silva 2.5 years. So I work with Councillor Fire. Councillor Fire, who is SG today, I work with him for 5 years.
Okay, so which one you prefer working with? Which one know the law? Which one can interpret? Which one was your best?
All my bosses were I mean, I can't use the platform to say this was the best that I know. It's not professional to do. Yeah, it's not professional to do.
I mean, I know what I asked you for, but let that one go. I mean, listen, welcome to the Spoon Talk. And guys, again, we're grateful to our brother Councillor. He's representing, he's contributing, I must say, his legal mindset on the show every evening as pro bono, right? Sometimes we collect cash out 50 and give it to him to buy his internet. That Richardson, please say your own.
You don't say me find out about internet, you don't say me.
I agree now because honestly, I do like your contribution, Councillor Good. Your contribution to me shows that you have the ability to differentiate between speaking truthfully and being a professional person and also not taking sides. I mean, I've seen you come down hard on all of the different political parties and government and hard on ideas. So that's good. I like to see that in people. I don't like social type people. So you want me to send $50 to the council? I'm gonna do that now.
I heard that.
Not send me rock. Yeah, not send me rock before data. Rock. Yeah, listen. Don't come on the show.
Get my food already now. I swear.
Listen, said it away. Louis, the last time the man internet was giving problem, we sent him $225, and at least his internet looked better now. He was able to get his Starlink.
I said that you and Fubi exchange places so that wow, people talking.
You know say what?
They say you exchange countries. Because you looking bright and Fubi looking dark, and apparently you should look dark.
I'm telling you, yeah, they said me and Fubi exchange background.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Fubi is Fubi, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
In the kitchen. Fubi in the kitchen. In the kitchen.
No, but I'm in the kitchen. But I just want eating something slippery.
I see.
Okay, Fubi, just before they don't say no more. Let's move back on track. So Fubi, talk to us now. How you doing? How's Ouagadougou?
Yeah, God managed me. It's okay. It's trying to rain now. There's a storm, heavy storm also, but it's all good. We're grateful to God. We're following the activities back home as well, and hope that everything will fall in place at some point. People have to know the difference between the different things that they want to do. You can't keep fighting and complaining every time. Sometimes you just have to be grateful to God and say thank you. You know, that's the first time. The first time I was allowed to preach, that was the topic I preached on. Just say thank you, regardless of what you're going through. If you don't have food to eat that day, just say God, thank you for life. If you wake up from bed, just say God, thank you. Forget about the complaining. Forget about all the plenty. Oh, Papa, no food. Papa, no hospital bill. Papa, no rice or no school fee. Just say today, God, the only thing I got to tell you is thank you for life, and just be grateful. Because gratitude opens a lot of doors. So once you are grateful, there are a lot of things that can happen. When you're ungrateful, a lot of doors will close to you. So it's always good to have that and to have a grateful heart. And a lot of ways you find a way moving through things, and you wonder how things open for you. When people think your doors are closing, you just see doors opening because of the grateful heart.
Yep.
So
I'm a testimony.
That's something that I've practiced over the period. And I always tell people, be grateful for God for everything. Also try to be good. Try to give as much as you can. Because once your hand is open, you can receive. When your hand is tight, closed, you don't receive. So always learn to free your hands so that you can receive more.
Good message.
So I just want to send that today to the people.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm investigating something about Oswald and Maryland. You know, Oswald gets some people in Maryland. I'm investigating it seriously. I know where they meet. So I'm just saying it open, you know me, Fubi, I'll let you say my own. Oswald friend, yeah, maybe he will call you and tell you. The Justice Minister Oswald gets something in Maryland. I'm investigating seriously. Once I get my hand on it, I will discuss it further. But guys, I mean, no matter where we are Liberians doing the people's work. And, you know, come here every day and discuss an issue of national concern. I'm so happy to, you know, today is Uncle Sam's anniversary, wedding anniversary.
That's
Let's say happy wedding anniversary to Uncle Sam. He said he was going to send me a photo. I'm still waiting for it. I have not seen it yet, but I hope he sent me the photo for us to share it with our audience. And again, happy birthday to you, Uncle Sam. And I will wish you happy anniversary to Uncle Sam. Now, Richard, so I give you a chance. You want to add your voice to that?
Happy anniversary to Uncle Sam. It's always good knowing that you enjoy life. You always share that with us. So I want to wish you a blessed, God-focused anniversary. Wishing you lots and lots of more laughter, fun, and joy, and loving each other. So that's what I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilor, you want to add?
The old man, happy anniversary. Is not marriage is not a child's play. So if he can keep going for this long, he's being the age he is, and his wife young, they are still moving fine. It means that God is blessing them in the union. So it's something that we should celebrate and wish that the same favor that is on Uncle Sam as he moves on in life and with his marriage, we'll get greater portion of that favor as well in our own marriages. So wishing well today. Hope that he can enjoy.
Thank you very much. Fubi?
Asura Gui, coin and Pape, Uncle Sam will coin Pape. So just say Uncle Sam.
Why he like your night? Why he like your night, Pape? He's 71. Well, you finish you already part 3 school and 10. You Pape, my man. You like that?
Uncle Sam, all the best. Wish you God's love and blessings, and may God bless your union. Enjoy your young wife. And you always I can enjoy the way that can help people out. Always posting a young wife. And last time he said, "Look, my wife's job is to go and work. My job is to cook and fix the house. So I'm a house husband." So that's a good one. So enjoy your anniversary.
No, but I got concern, right? I'm serious. You know I love Uncle Sam. But maybe somebody can help me. Why would a 72-year-old man go marry a 40 or 41-year-old female?
Okay, so let me explain.
No, I just want to be fair.
Don't say 72. So when he got married,
Let me say my own. Then you can say your own. I beg you. Right? why will a 72, 73-year-old man go marry a 40-year-old woman? I want to know. I mean, I'm not trying to laugh. I mean, I'm happy for Uncle Sam, and I wish them well as they celebrate their anniversary. 41, 42. But if you like 30 years apart, 30. You know what? Let me just leave that one.
What would be your problem, my friend?
Thank you very much.
My uncle, right?
What's your problem?
No, my man.
Go ask Uncle Sam. Go ask him. What you want to ask on the show for?
No, but this is a general show.
I did. No, it's good to talk about. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, thank you.
I did a post. I think on Sunday or Saturday. I said the paradox of life. You see, the fathers so love their daughters, so they always. You see, the father they will always love their daughters' age mates. The daughters so love their fathers, so you always see the young girls loving to their father's age mates.
We just because that's
I'm coming now. The mothers so love their sons, so you see them offering advice to their sons' age mates. The sons so love their mothers, so they always show respect to old women. You know, though you have some rare cases, but most of the time you see fathers with their age mates, you see daughters with their father's age mates. That's the paradox of life.
Guys, if I'm making a mistake, right? Every one of you that Charles Yates, your share the show, Charlie. I'm asking a straight question. This is very important. Of some 30 years, different. 74-year-old man marrying 44-year-old woman. Flip it around. A 74-year-old woman marrying 44-year-old man. I don't think I'm my business, but somebody want to know what is driving that relationship. And that's what we do here on Spoon Talk. I'm not trying to ask Uncle Sam celebrate another anniversary. It's important to ask. For example, can't you find somebody your age or the little 5-year different, right? You know very well, you're going to die and this young lady will live on. You know very well, you're going to get sick. You know very well, some way, somehow, you're going to move on. You're going to pass on. So what's the, I mean, I can't understand. Thank God that a problem here. Thank God psychosocial expert is here. And Dr. Richardson, psychosocial. But a 75-year-old man marrying a 45-year-old woman, it's 30 years.
That's the paradox of life.
So Stanton, you want for me to talk now?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So what we need to do is we need to get some of those people in the category we're talking about to lecture us and tell us what is in it, because we are not there. So we don't know. We're asking questions to people who are not in it. We and nobody gets 70 years old. Huh?
You let young girl 20 years younger than you.
You like young girl 20 years younger than you?
No. I'm married, my friend. I'm married.
No, let Fubi answer the question.
30 years. The man talking about 30 years different.
He asked you if you like young girls. Do you Fubi? Do you like young girls?
I say yes.
You like young girls?
So let me tell you the truth. Dr. Regency. It is, you know the question standard
of young girls.
The question standard asking. The question standard asking. It goes beyond. It goes beyond 30 years different, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also goes to the point that why in marriages you find out that you have more older men marrying younger women,
Well, that could be answer the question for all. He don't want like young girls, so he can maybe tell us.
It's good.
Huh? What happened? What is it about
You feel good.
You know, marriage is about love. Marriage is about love. It's about care, respect. It's about trust.
That feel who you
It's
live
about
with.
trust. So when you love the person is beautiful and young, it's all right for you. Because
All right,
as you
so
grow
let's move
older,
on.
your wife remains younger in your eye. You know,
Yes,
the thing about it,
listen to
let's
good.
go
I can
first.
say good things.
Let's
we gotta move on, Councilor. Councilor, we gotta move on now. We gotta bring it down to
But let Pastor finish here. He's talking. He's saying.
Now what you bring the topic for now? You bring topic, you want to end the topic, so we'll move on.
Because
no,
you have to explain.
Your wife looks younger in your eyes when you marry her young. Men and women can get old, and women get older than men quicker. So in order for the men not to be all around the place, he will marry somebody younger so that even when he getting older, the person still looks like a young 20-year-old girl in his eyes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Let me bring in Dr. Boble and Asido. Asido have history. He will help us today. Dr. Boble, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Stanton. You know, before I say anything, I just want to say that, you know, some time ago, you promised to pass the plate and collect small things for my scratch card. And you know, I'm very fond of the plate. You don't pass the plate till now. I hear you talking to the counselor that you get small thing to send. My man, don't be a promise breaker or be a promise keeper. I wouldn't want you're not talking about you send me offline. Good evening, everybody. Good to see my colleagues and to those who are watching and listening. Thank you for doing what you do. I tell you, I keep seeing people standing everywhere, and I keep getting the text messages, the messenger messages, the WhatsApp messages. People are watching, people are listening. So let's keep the conversation going. One conversation at a time. Constructive solutions could change our nation. So it's good to be here tonight. And you know, I'm not an expert on anything. I just try to add some positive value to some things. That whole topic there about younger women, I'll let Fubi then the expert talk. I'm not an expert on that. What I will say is that culture affects that particular occurrence. In the African tradition, the older man, the younger woman is a common thing. Economics, we don't like to talk about this part, but economics also affects that. In developed places like where you are, you know, the high school student can get her car, she can make her own salary. So she ain't got to be looking here, looking there. She keep driving. Sub-Saharan Africa is a little different. So economics and culture, and so it's not it's a common thing in our tradition for older men to marry younger women. But again, I'm not an expert in anything, so.
No, we agree. It's a good way to just pass. We're going to end with Isaac. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, please pause, wait. Let's hear from Isaac. Isaac.
Well, I'm here waiting for the show to start. I'm a young man myself, so when I reach maybe 50 years and 40 years, then we can start talking about it. But for now, like Dr. Buple say, we know our experts. Let them tell us exactly what it is. When we reach there, then we'll start talking about those. We'll start talking about sending those back. But let's start the show, I would think.
Okay, thank you very much. We got to satisfy everyone. Let's bring in the honorable former representative, district number 8, Musarado County, Akaris Mosegray. Akaris, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all.
Good evening to you. I want to say to our mother, Mother Pierre Boo, we want to welcome you. Let's acknowledge her. The young lady gives TLC, tender love and care. Keeps him feeling young. That's That's the counselor. We're going to welcome her to the show. But again, let me say this. I have a problem. At least it should be like 10 years. Maybe the max 10 years. How can you go for 30 years different? 30 years?
Hold on. If that's somebody's name you want.
Now what 30 years can do to you? When you go 30 years different, what it can do to you? When you go,
the reason why the man brought this topic up. Oh, now he said it's fine.
If you go 30 years different, this is exactly what will happen to you. Now I'm going to say happy anniversary to Uncle Sam. We wish you luck. He's off today, and I decided to pull him off. But again, want to say welcome to all of you. Let's have a great show. We hope that you have fun. We come here every day having fun, find something, doing something just to make you relax. Wherever you're joining us from, we appreciate you. Continue to share the show. Continue to share your comments, and let's have a great, great show. There's an emergency, a big emergency from the rubber industry. Big rubber factory, big farmers saying they're about to shut down. We will have that story tomorrow. They're about to shut down. They're going to be rough on that market. Again, we hope President Joseph Yemabarga step in. I also like to say while we share the show today, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's just get into it. One of which, of course, today the president returned.
Under the arrest,
came back to the country. Let's just get this in passing real quick. Sierra Leone now, head of ECOWAS, Bio took over. The president came back with this message, and again he came back on not on private jet, but let's just watch.
Under the arrest, agriculture is first and foremost.
The president, Sylvester Chirople, Workforce School Network. All of these agreements, they are very good and unique to Liberia. But is there any timeline for implementation for all of these agreements, arrangement with these companies or international partners?
You know very well that when you take over a country, especially like our country, you have to restore donors conference, your partners, you got to open up opportunities, that confidence building, and we are getting there. I mean, you can see that we are now documenting, people are now signing up, so the timeline is now, things are moving. We talk about free trade, when you go to the borders, the immigration squeezing you, the securities are squeezing, we have to unlock those opportunities. Free trade means you give the people the opportunity to go through things in the right way, in a speedy way. People go to the border, they run into a lot of problems. In fact, these are the issues that we're talking about. Give the people a chance to move around freely, to do business, bring goods, carry goods to that country. That's our emphasis. That's what we mean about unlocking opportunities for all of our commodities that come in and out of the country.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Richardson, the president is back with a message. Agriculture, free trade. What say you? Let's just do this and we'll go into the more unique topic. But the president is back. Let's hear you.
So before we talk about the president, I just want to tell Isaac that I called him over the weekend. I want the public to know that I called you on the weekend, but you didn't answer your phone. So please don't come talk and tell me that I didn't call you. And I also want to tell, I'm going to get to your question, Stanton, but also Dr. Bobler said something about everywhere he goes, people are talking about his phone. I took a scary flight back home from Minnesota after we celebrated the induction and installation program of the Citizens Movement for Change, and it was kind of scary because of everything was going on in the world. But I fell asleep, and I had that usually the time I had my headset on when I'm traveling, And then I was like, this guy kept on staring at me at the airport, and I didn't know why, so I was acting like I didn't know anything. But I got off, and like sleepy looking, not put together. He's like, I keep on looking at you like I know you from somewhere. I'm like, okay, where do you know me from? And then as the conversation evolved, he kept on saying, I know you from. He's like, can I take a picture of you? And I'm like, oh my God, not with all any, just looking like this, like I just woke up. But just to let you know, that's how Spoon is very popular among people. They remember, they watch. And I heard a lot of comments about watching Spoon a lot of times, and they watch us daily in Minnesota. So thank you, Stanton. As far as the president's comment, I agree with him in terms of confidence building. He used that word, and he said that, he just, even though he's behind the timeline for me, but he said that he just took over Liberia, and he's working on making sure that investors return to Liberia. But then the part that I disagree with him, he talked about free trade and making sure that immigration officers and police officers and other authorities stop hassling people at the border. He wants people to give people a free chance to move around, to sell their goods and to bring their goods in and out of the country. I think we should be talking about putting some system in place at the border, okay? Before we move and graduate to talk about free trade. We don't want people, we talk about people just coming in and out of our country. We need to be able to talk to Liberian people about doing those things first or concurrently, or at the same time doing those things, where we putting measures in where people not just, Burkinabes will not just be coming into the country and taking our land or selling things, or people will not just be coming into the country and just taking things out of the country. Or so we want to be speaking about rules that would make things more systematic instead of just talking about just giving an open border where people can just come in and out. So that's my thought about that.
And Richard said, thank you very much, and thank God for your safe return from wherever you went. Thank God that you have.
You know exactly what I went for. I don't want to talk about it, but it's okay.
Thank you. I don't want to talk about it because you went there, you didn't see acid though. But let me bring you in, Fubi. Fubi, what's up? The puppet back.
Yeah.
Papa, what happened?
Oh yeah. So I've said it. Like I said before even this government took office, I said any government that will succeed CDC, I give them 3 years before they can, if they were seriousness before they can get things on track. Because the damage that CDC did to the country, it will not take any government 1 or 2 years to put it back on track. And the president is right. You need to restore donor confidence because you follow. I think 9 or so embassies wrote the government, asked them to put their money back. That alone eroded the confidence of the country. Embassies also wrote the government to them to pay their LEC bill. So you can imagine those kind of stuff. And key government officials were sanctioned by the US. So all those things send a dark cloud over the country. And also getting to the leadership, you have to rebuild that confidence so that the next and other partners can start looking and say, yeah, I think we can work with this guy. Because I think the UN or other NGOs told the government that they were not even going to give them direct money again. They were going to do it themselves because they were failing to even report on funding that were given directly to the government for implementation. So all of those things happen under the CDC regime. And also when you have a government taking over after that kind of regime, you already have a tainted character already imprinted on the minds and hearts of partners. So definitely they will tell you that, look, you have to start doing X, Y, Z for us to see and know that you are ready for business. So I think the president is right, and they need to drive all of these serious agendas, restore the confidence if they have to. Also, my key point of view to them also is how they can get direct local investment, put it into the hands of Liberians. And that will also help to build the economy better because when Liberians and not just waiting for foreign companies to come in. Those small, SMEs, build them up. People can do that little farming. how you can support your agriculture sector directly from the government, how you can support small businesses directly from the government. It shouldn't be something that you just talk for the sake of talking, you know. So the agriculture sector is a big sector that will yield a lot of things for the country if we invest into it properly. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Thank you a lot for me. It's good to see you. Let me bring in Dr. Bobler. Dr. Bobler, will see you. I want to keep Councilor for last. He's the measure head, then we'll go to Acid Joe. Dr. Bobler, welcome to the show. You heard the president.
Yes, thank you, Stanton. So the president made a speech there. He said some important things at the ECOWAS meeting, but also some things that I want to be careful that we don't misinterpret. So the president basically said that peace and stability is the foundation of growth and prosperity. He was right, and he is right. However, peace, for example, the interpretation from one of the journalists and headline today said the president preaches peace over prosperity. Now we got to be careful there because we can't preach peace over prosperity. We must preach peace and prosperity because if people do move on the pendulum from poverty to prosperity, then peace is always shaky and threatened. In other words, we need people's lives to keep getting better. Just think about it, Stanton. If back in the day, when the war came and Charles Taylor was coming through, if young people had good schools and had good sporting programs and have good mentoring programs and all those things, nobody would take gun to go and fight war. But when you feel like you have nothing and somebody seems to be promising you something, you gun for it. So we gotta be careful. That's why this government, every government, must work intentionally and speedily to help people move in an appreciable and a measurable way. One of the things I would like to see this government do better is measure the progress and keep announcing to the people, yes, where we were, this is where we are. We still got a lot of ways to go, but work with us. So keep measuring the progress and keep communicating that we are making progress. So peace and prosperity, they go together for total nation building.
Dr. Bobler, thank you very much. I'm going to bring in Honorable Gray while he's here before he goes out. Honorable Gray, talk to us. Welcome to the show. The president returned, and let me play this video. This is to announce that the president returned not on a private jet. We're talking about the private jet issue, and the piece from his conversation on BBC. He returned on ASCA. Again, what that tells you in this push for his agenda is the private jet issue done or only by which one is a necessity. Again, but let's hear you, Honorable Gray, talk to us. Let's hear you. The president is back. He left with ASCA, came back with ASCA, I believe. But let's hear you, Gray.
I don't know whether people have read about ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme. The whole concept of the meeting from the president has to do with free trade. What free trade has to do with what damage that you claim that have been caused. The greatest damage that have been caused to the country is when you commit the resources of the country to concessionaires. In 6 years, we have over 67 concession agreements in 6 years in the first 10. And this man was the vice president of the Republic of Liberia presiding. Then you want to blame somebody that didn't even commit your country to 10 agreements in 6 years? Let's stop joking. The damage to this country in terms of trade, in terms of natural resources was bastardized in 12 years. No government has bastardized our resources like that in terms of concessionaires. That public record, that statistics we're discussing here. So when the president talks about free trade, the president is talking about transaction. I thought the president were even going for the exploitation of technology from one West African country to another. I've been to these conferences, so I know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, the Africa free trade, for example, in Rwanda, a lot of meetings now. West Africa is talking about it. The foundation of Africa, ECOWAS, calls for free trade. So there's not a debate. It's just a matter of cementing some other agreements to buttress the effort of free trade. The President Refold said cross-border trading, this bilateral union, the same thing that talks about free trade. So free trade is not a strange thing. It's not a strange phenomenon where people will cross, like the President said. He spoke one important thing. He said, Liberia's comparative advantage. If you listen to him, in his mind is the forest belt we have. He said that emphatically. So the emphasis should be what? On agriculture. In his mind, Liberia has a comparative advantage. And that comparative advantage in the mind is that we have the forest, so the concentration should be on agriculture. Okay? And he said in the arrest agenda, the first A in the arrest agenda calls for what? Agriculture. So nobody damaged the agricultural industry of the country here. Let's stop that. 12 years and there was no transformation. The green machines are still in fire. Let's stop shifting blame on people. You came to power to make the change, add up to what you have. So to come on this show and begin to say somebody damaged the country after 67 concession agreement, and another person you talking about agriculture, who should be the best agriculturalist in Liberia as a President Boyka, or Samuel Doe, the revolution, green revolution, agricultural revolution. These were policy. What's the policy of this government when it comes to agriculture?
Great, thank you very
much. On the arrest agenda, what the policy? You don't know.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Councillor Good. Councillor Good, you heard the President. Let's hear you.
I wish the best. I wish the best for Liberia. I wish that all the promises made and all the projections the president has will come to fruition, and we will benefit as a country. I can criticize what I don't have a very good expertise in. If the president talks law, he contradicts the law. I would tell him he contradicts the law. When talking policy, I can't say too much. I'll only wait for implementation and wait for the positive results that we anticipate. So nothing much I can say about that. That's the president. He's the head of the government. He has an agenda to push for the country. I think he's trying as much as he can to work on that agenda. Whether it is up to speed is one thing, but I'm sure that he's trying to do his best to get the country moving forward. So wherever he took the country from under the past regime, that's why he was elected. And he has to take it forward. And we all need to forget about shifting blame. We're going 1 year and a half now, and we stay every day CDC. We'll be forgetting about the promises made by the government. We will continue to be blaming CDC until 2029 will reach, and then the worst will happen for the government that are thinking about 2029. So I think, like I said, let's focus, those who support the government, let's focus on delivering. Then always criticizing.
Thank you.
Let's focus on delivering. Yeah. So I wish the country the best.
Thank you very much, my friend. Asa, take us home, please.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to talk about two things. The president has said a lot of things over and over and over and again. I think we should be sensing implementation of the many things spoken about. If you were to look in the budget, unfortunately, Phoebe does not know because he's out of the know of any of these things, so he can just talk. But when you were to look in the budget, one of the components of revenues of this budget that they all consistently talk about is ECOWAS trade levy. So if you are starting to talk about free trade with no levies on it, that should be reflected in the budget. We should be seeing something in which you'll be telling us that you don't expect money to come as revenue from ECOWAS trading across the region. I know Phoebe is not aware of these things. He can just, talk things. But in my mind, though, the president should have enough of talking now. Nobody is stopping him from doing these things. He can stop. And another thing to that, why is it anytime the president returns and he speaks on something, If you went to the ECOWAS website to see their meeting minutes, everything he always talked about is never reflected in the meeting minutes. It said that he does not bring up these points in the meeting, but he only brings them up when he returns to the country. How would it become any reality if you don't talk about it when you are in the meeting, but you only talk about it when you come in? While you were talking, I just went to ECOWAS website to see if there is anything about discussion on free trade. Nothing. But sometimes allow me to quickly talk about these two things that I wanted to use as my what's on your mind. Unfortunately, we didn't have.
No, we pass that. I got AB in the studio. Let's do it at the end. I beg you, Isaac. I beg
No,
you.
it's the same discussion in
yeah,
this.
but with your time feeling now on the paper return, we'll come back to you. I beg you. I won't bring AB. Just giving us 30 minutes of his time, please. I want to say thanks. We're just going to pivot real quick. We saw a situation today in the country concerning the Fadigas. One of the brothers. Let's welcome AB. AB Kraman, welcome to the show. Colonel Kraman, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope we have the time for us to discuss. Can you please tell Nelson to unmute? Is he in there?
Yeah, Nelson.
Nelson, can you pay attention, please? Let's see if we can. Yes, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, AB. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much. It's good to be on your platform again. It's always a pleasing pleasure to be in the sight and ears of your listening public and viewing public. It's been a little while. So
yeah, well, something came up today, and we really want to get into it before we go into our other conversation. We woke up today on this end. We received the news that this document came forth today concerning the arrest of one of the Fadigas, Hussein Fadiga. We got a picture. He was in court. Again, we got videos that he was taken to South Beach, and this is he standing in front of South Beach. The story came up. A lot of people were concerned, and we think that it was only necessary to hear from Fadiga. I called him. We spoke briefly. And then I reached out to you. I invited him. He couldn't make it today. I hope he can join us whenever. But thank you for accepting our invite. Let's get to it. How did we come this far that Fadiga? I will play the video, then we'll hear from you.
For joining Spoon TV, we live here at the grounds of the Temple of Justice, where Defendant Hussein Fadiga has been arrested by a sheriff from the Civil Law Court A. As you can see, he's being escorted in the court.
Welcome to the judicial system of Liberia.
So, a matter of fact, Fadiga and his brother, Hassan Fadiga and Hussein Fadiga. So, Hassan Fadiga, or Hussein Fadiga as he's called, he's been sent to the Morova Central Prison. As you see, he's being escorted from the court. So he's expected to spend his first night at the Morova Central Prison tonight. So his brother to Hassan Fadiga, and they say Hussein Fadiga. So here is it. So he will. So that's it. So he's expected to spend his first night at the Morova Central Prison. He's being escorted by sheriffs.
Welcome to the show, Colonel Abi Kraman. It's good having you on. Let's hear you. We saw the video, Fadiga walking into the courtroom. Fadiga going out, being escorted to South Beach. But again, before the end of the day, Fadiga was released free man. Welcome, Colonel
Not a,
Kramer.
not a free man, buddy.
Bring us up to speed.
He was taken out of the jail, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's a free man. It's a counselor on this. Well, you have a counselor in studio would not tell you going to Sunday prison and coming out. He had gone there with pretrial detention, and I'm very sure we all know that this is not the end of this particular process. We made representation to the court again. My lawyer, Serena, said he will have an opportunity to speak to you tonight regarding this case. But I just want to let you know that this is the process. I am a practitioner, and I told you from the beginning, I'm one person who have been in the law enforcement arena for the past 35 plus years. And so I'm not a halfway guy. All right. And there was a reason why I went to court. And today, the reason I went to court was very apparent to all of us. We had the opportunity to go to court. Like I said before, I said we thought that the gentlemen, they had a case, they presented a case to all of you guys, they distributed leaflets and stuff to everybody. They wanted to have opportunity to see exactly who I was. And I said, we're lying. Basically, I thought they would have come back to you, the journalist, to say, look, this is what we know of A.B. Kroma. They did not. That's okay. They have an opportunity to go to the Minister of Justice. The president impounded an investigation. We open on ourselves for that investigation so they can present that case to that particular panel. They failed to do that as well. So for me, my family and my career and my business, I had no other alternative but to go to court, thinking that this would be an avenue, an opportunity for them to present the so-called smoking gun they had. At the end of the day, they failed to do that. We went to court, we presented our case, we did our pleading, everything was presented to the court. Asked them to come, the sheriff officer go to serve them, they refused to come. They almost had altercation with the sheriff, with the female ministerial officer. They could, on our system, the counselor is there. When you do that, you are deemed served. If you refuse to come under the jurisdiction of the court, most especially when a court officer comes to you and refuse to the court documents. We went back to court. They were a judge guilty of the act that we've charged them for. They had somebody to receive their judgment so that they can appeal to the court. The guy sat in the seat. They announced the appeal, but then you have 10 days period to present that appeal to the court. They refused to adhere to that as well. At the end of the day, it was time for judgment, and they follow up with the judgment. The irony is, after all of those situations, they refused all of those pleadings. Even when they went to serve them, they refused it. Why they accepted what the court cost? They may sign for the court cost. That's the only pleading they accepted. So exactly, now they went that, we waited another 10 days for them to adhere to the court cost, that they to come to the court that they adhere to paying. They refused to pay. They had a $1.6 million payment to make. And because they refused to do that, when the sheriff went after them, and that's how they found themselves in jail. So that's where we are. That's how far we travel with this process. I have a reputation to protect. I have kids, I have family, I have friends to protect. Apparently, they don't care. They just go losing nilly-willy with people's reputation. I am not going to do that. I got 35 years. I've served this country. This country stole my youth. I didn't have the chance to play like other friends because I was 18 years old when I went to the police force. 17 to 18. From that time, I've been in law enforcement. I've been in the eyes of the public. I came to the States. I worked for the Superior Court. I worked for all those time I was there. I never had an opportunity to actually flex like them. So they can't come here now and want to steal that and malign my character because they have an opportunity to say. So before they used to that.
The 1.6 US, right? Folks are called in. Is it US or LD 1.6?
1.6 million United States dollars.
Okay.
As you guys call it Christian money.
So let's get into it. And again, guys, welcome to the show. It's good to have you. Yes, indeed, I will call your lawyer, Consider Sereno Simon Seaforth. It's so important for us to just run through what we believe is right. I'm going to bring the guys in first, and let's bring in the lawyer. Consider, go. You go first.
Like I said the other day, when they, I think they issued the Near Eastern Republic, I was telling you about the process and about whether they didn't take a pew, because I know that when the court rules against you, you have 60 days from the day of the judgment, the redemption of judgment you announce in the pew. You have 60 days. You had the first 10 days to file in your bill of exception to the court for the judge to approve it. And then from there, you have the remaining 50 days to file your appeal along with your appeal bond to the Supreme Court. So when I saw that Near Eastern Republica was out because of, I think, lack of satisfaction of the judgment, then I knew that the defendants must have failed to make use of the appeal process. So you see up there is contempt of court. So it's based on that I read what issue, and when they fail, then they held them with contempt of court, because they're saying contempt for I think this is Labia, right?
Yes.
Rodney Seal fell short of the same contempt of court by the Supreme Court when he was held for, I think, some label case against who was it, Christo or someone, and he was sent to jail by the Supreme Court.
So let ask the Counselor, let's get to it because we're pushing this in as fast as we can. Do you think there's a way out for the Fadigas?
My brother, the only way out is to satisfy the judgment, or you negotiate, but you have to satisfy the judgment. Whether you satisfy in paying 1.6 million, or you satisfy in negotiating with the man who in whose the judgment and in whose favor the judgment was rendered. The idea is you must satisfy the judgment, because what you've done to yourself is that you fail to make use of the legal remedy available to you to challenge the outcome of that particular case, which they have been on appeal. Maybe you are going to appeal. The Supreme Court could have reversed the case. The Supreme Court could have remanded it for new trial. The Supreme Court could have modified the judgment. They could have brought it and reduced it from 1.6. And or the Supreme Court would just reverse it and like I said, reverse it, and that's it. But once if you didn't do that, you have to negotiate now. That's all I know.
Thank you. Let me bring the other guys in. Colonel Gray. Sorry, not Colonel Gray, but Representative Gray. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I think AB was right about the court. Right. This is a country that people can just say anything about anyone. Some of them maybe will get 15 cases already now to take all up for the court. But you have made reckless statements in the country. Very reckless statement. I'm one of those who told Conor Croman, I spoke to him on the phone. I can say it publicly. I told you, if your reputation is at stake, a guy like you from the security background I've known for many years, you got to go to court to exonerate yourself, especially after the interview that night, the last interview we had with the Fadiga brothers. I think these guys are very reckless in their utterances. And they left with maybe there will be some intervention that Conor Croman can make his own decision. Okay, but nobody should say that they are not employed, they are employed. They're working, the poster making a lot of money, they got properties. It means when you're working, you can castigate anybody and go free. But I think AB did the right thing, and I must commend him for it. Because I was just jokingly telling somebody today, AB, I say, you're not going to go to court because I'm going to be afraid of you, sir. Maybe I'm going to tell my friend that don't hire a security friend because they say the man or into job. Before they plan jobs and so on, yeah. No, sir, I was just joking with someone today. Okay, on that. And it's a serious thing. The bonus on your reputation is very important. Thank you very much for going to court.
Thank you very much. I said, let's hear you. AB is here. You follow the story. Let's hear you, Minister Doe.
Well, my senior man, AB, nice to see you. And I know your issue is very important. Like you said, it borders around your reputation, which of course, like I've always said on the show, I've had bosses. As a person, I only engage my boss in a certain way, no matter how educated I am or how experienced I am. Personally, that's me. If I disagree with my boss, there's a way I will engage him. We'll talk about it. We'll go from there. But aside from the issue being so important to you, though, why is the rescue giving go harder? They arrest, they brought Fadiga, then he on video call, then he drive his own car to go to the police place, then he come back, then he on another show. Why is the rescue giving go harder? Why? That's just my only concern.
Well, maybe my lawyer will give you further detail as to what are the remedy and what are the process and the procedure that interplay today. What I can tell you, the car was driven by the sheriff. The car should have been in there to the sheriff to the court. The car should have been an impound because, as far as I'm concerned, that car would be part of my $1.6 million. The car, and he has a consultancy.
You're telling my car too.
He had a consultancy firm. He has a consultancy contract with the Ministry of Finance. All right, so he has income. So we intend to garnish all of that. I intend to make sure. Look, this is not about. I don't need cash from these dudes. I run my own business. Now they try to bring me to public disrepute because they have their own issue with the facts of issues. I don't have that. But whatever transpired today, where he's on another show, he's back, he's not in jail. That's something my lawyers will be battling. I have a team of lawyers. I have advisors and everybody else. We're going to go to the length of this process because I'm all for the law. I'm a student of law. And
thank you very much, Colonel Kerman. Thank you very much. It's always good having you on. We'll give the rest of the guys a chance to ask you, but let me just chip in before we go to Dr. Bople. You don't need the money. The Fadiga brother would never ever give you $1.6 million in asset of cash. You know that. Whether they have it or not, this thing have to end in some kind of settlement of apologies. Are you willing to accept apologies and move on, or you just bent on seeing them in jail?
Stanton, you know what I've done for a living. I'm in the law business. The law has always been the law for me. I am in this rule of law business. And that's one of the reasons why I went back to law school. I've been out of law school for so long, so I had to go back to be like Councilor Gould as well. So the essence of this whole process is to make sure that we establish some precedent and deterrence. Because people in our country cannot go nilly-willy, just go people repetition because you disagree. This is all about malice. I built this case. We proved the case on malice because the brother was dismissed. The brother gave an order in the DA, and I transferred those orders. You know the story. That's where they put those fake thing in the car. Or these are the drugs that are coming up. That was not drugs coming out of the place there. So when the guy was transferred, and I've seen that particular process, the guy went back to work. They went back on the rampage to tarnish my reputation. They create all kinds of innuendos.
So are you going to accept an apologist here? We all are young people. Just say Imam Bwaka saw it in you and in the Fadigas and say, I'm going to hire you guys. Let's move the country forward. He gave you guys a couple of warnings over and over. Yet and still, you guys decided to go contrary to what
No.
Let me finish, and that's why. Let me finish, Colonel Kerman. And we followed this story, and at the end of the day, here we are now. Is you guys out of the government, but the image, Colonel Kerman, that image, it doesn't look good. Can you accept an apology and walk away? Or what really you want from the Fadiga? You just bent on saying them going to jail?
Let me set the record straight. The warning over and over never happened. I don't know what you call warning over and over, or the image. The image, because you brought somebody, you recommended somebody to come and work with you in the government, it doesn't mean that person should have the audacity to impugn your reputation. I work hard for this stuff, though. I work in the States there, in America, all the time I was there. I never had a moving ticket. Check it out. So I did that. From there, I came back to Liberia. I was hired director of operation, 102, worked for 5 successful director of police. Never had any situation as far as corruption or anything else. So if you bring group of guys, the president requested me to work, and I recommended that these guys come and work with me, and the president approved it. However, when that happened, that does not give anybody the right, the grand rule, to come and tarnish my reputation, bro, and go free with it. So this is all about setting the record straight. This is all about deterrent, establishing deterrent, so that it will not happen to another Liberian again.
What was it? What did they send him to jail? Is it because of your case or because of contempt of court?
One good thing I know, Fadiga owe me 1.6. The Fadigas owe me $1.6 million. Now, the fact that they breached the court rules or they did not live with the contempt, they had a contempt issue with the court. That's left for them. At the end of the day, this case is over. As far as I'm concerned, from what I've learned, Councilor Gould is there, their case has gone to judgment and it's all done. He has to now bring the money that was charged. He has to bring the court cost that he's assigned, he's agreed to. The case has been done. Whatever that comes out now, whatever filing they're doing, that's a different proceeding they're doing. That's not what it is. My lawyer will tell you that. I got a team of lawyers that will come.
Thank you. We'll be calling one of your lawyers shortly. Guys, please share the show. We're hearing from Colonel Abraham Kurman, A.B. Kurman. We would love to hear the story. And something happened today, a big thing happened today. After Fadiga went to the restaurant and you met him, whatever the case will be, we'll play that video. Let's hear Dr. Boblet, Dr. Richardson, as we welcome Sis Glennie and Fubi. Dr. Boblet.
Thank you, Stanton. AB, good evening. Good to see you tonight.
Good to see you. Good to see
I
you.
remember a long time ago when the conflict started in your agency. You were gracious enough, you came on the show.
Yes.
And I said, after you shared some things, I said, some things are better not said here. You received that well. Unfortunately, things spiraled, things escalated, and we're here. I'll say a couple of things, and I want to ask you a question. First, I would say that repetition does matter. So we must not trivialize that. We must be careful what we say about people, how we treat people, because reputation does matter. The second thing I want to say is that the rule of law is important and must be respected. We must not be callous about it. Judgment has been made in your favor. But the good counselor here would tell us that there's still discretion on the part of the plaintiff or petitioner because the judgment is in your favor. My question to you, as a person who you know, who you work with, one of them, would you, of course, in consultation with your lawyers, will you be open to some kind of settlement? So you put this to rest and move forward, some kind of settlement. I'm not advocating an apology as a settlement, but some kind of settlement. Would you be open to that?
Doc, thank you very much. And that I have a team of lawyers. I have about 5 lawyers, and I have other folks that actually have a lot of respect for me with regards to what I should do, what I should not do. I mean, that's how I live my life. We'll have an opportunity to review these things as they come up. As for now, we don't want to be hypothetical as to whether these things happen. This has to do with me. I got kids living in America there. I got kids living all around the place. I got family members, guys like you that respect me a lot. You know exactly what I've gone through in life. To come and then capitulate or give into a situation like this without holistically looking at the process, we'll have an opportunity to see that. So we'll review these things that come up. Right now, the guys are still on the high horse. They stay bragging and doing all kinds of. Today, in the video you're about to play, that's just a testament of where we are. Because I'm sitting in the courthouse after we're done with the process, after he was brought back from court, while we're trying to find out from the judge, actually give us a good explanation as to what is happening. He came up and gave me the finger. The second thing, maybe you can't do me sorry for my French, you can't do me a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of guy you kind of compromise with. So Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for me, I was going to the scene. There's a restaurant right across the street, and that way we all eat. I eat there because I read that the university is not far from there, so I eat there. And even when I was in the police force, I used to eat there. So I entered the place, he stayed there, saying all kind of nonsense to his legal team was sitting there. That's when I said, Fadiga, the fact of the matter is he went to jail. I have never gone to jail. You're going to jail, and that's something you should accept. And he became very outlandish, became very, very vocal about it.
So let me play the video. Allow me to play the video. Folks want to see it. Yeah, let's play it.
Go that fucking shit in my contest with Jim. I will beat your ass. What I said to you? You're asking to some other person. Chief, that's where you end up going. Go ahead, man. You gotta take that money from you. Chief, go ahead and record. Whatever I record. I'll record you.
Was it necessary, Colonel A.B. Kurma? Was that necessary?
You know what? I don't think it was necessary, to be honest with you. I don't think it was necessary. But sometimes when you are provoked by a guy like that, this is what he did. That's the same thing he did at the DEA. He and a brother, the same thing. But you know what? When you are restrained by these things, when you have this kind of confrontation, you have to be. I was restrained today. They angered in me. I would not allow this guy to come and provoke me to anger. I just told him the fact that you're giving me finger, you're doing these things, that doesn't make sense. You've already gone to jail. You out at the mercy of the judge. So keep quiet while you put your stuff together. Do not provoke me. It's just not necessary. Why provoke me? Why try to create the situation in this time? I left him with his show of presence. And basically, I walk out of the restaurant. I didn't even eat anymore. I walk out.
Dr. Richardson, I'm sorry, Dr. Bopler. Let's just run with this. Please allow me to go to Dr. Richardson. Dr. Bopler, please. Dr. Richardson, let's hear you. Now you saw the clip and you followed through.
I want to just say that repetition does matter, Color Chroma, and it's also a pleasing pleasure to have you in the studio as well. But I want to follow something that Dr. Butler said. Repetition does matter. And he also spoke about the rule of law. I believe that the rule of law should be transparent and it should be just and it should be applied to all. That's what my recommendation for the court system. I think that we have a history in our country that sometimes the rule of law tends to be selected. I know that your case, and correct me if I'm wrong, was about defamation of character. I can resonate with your anger. I can understand exactly where you're coming from because I too have been a victim of someone defaming my character publicly. And so at this point, I would ask you to just play your cool, let the law take its course. It's in you already have this matter is in the court. So I saw a video where you were a little bit angry and you did respond. You said you behave unreasonably, and I appreciate your response. But from moving on, just avoid, if you can avoid it, it's not worth it, is it? If you can avoid it for the guy brothers or the defendant, just let the law take its course. Play your cool. That's all I can just advise you and advise anyone who's in this situation. I've done that. I'm doing that. And pray to God for forgiving us. It's hard to, I know it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sis Glenny.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be on. I don't know what to say. I mean, for me, character assassination is a serious thing, and I know sometimes things happen that we can't control, but the onus, I know it's whether the right word is anus or onus or whatever, it rests upon you. It is upon you because you went to. Let me speak my English, or I beg you.
Yeah, brother said it wrong one. Just ask him to agree you said.
Let me speak my English. But what I'm trying to say is that bulk of the responsibility is on you, is on your shoulders. I want to make sure that you are held responsible. You went to court for this. You've gotten the judgment. So like Dr. Francine is saying, there's no need for the back and forth. You have to be that bigger person because you've done that. Now, all of the things that transpired today, I don't know why it transpired. I think that's just something that is really, in fact, the case as a whole is ridiculous. So I don't know what else to say about this, because you all are brothers. You all should have been able to work together. I know it's difficult to be able to, for us not to come to where we are today. But be it as it may, I hope going forward, you've gotten your judgment. Just leave them alone. Let them do as they may, whatever, because this is the thing. I think as the millions of dollars they're talking about, I don't know where that money will come from, but at some point in time, there may come a time where families will come and talk to you and say, how can we harmonize their situation? So I just hope that what transpired today does not happen again, because it just didn't look good.
Thank you. I beg you, we have your lawyer on, Councillor Seaforth. He pushed it for only a few minutes, so I beg you, let's listen to him. Then we'll finish up with you. Councillor Seaforth, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I was absolutely shocked today because first, there are too many procedures, involving the enforcement of judgment in our court system. For example, we got a judgment on the 5th of May, 2025. We had to wait for 10 days to see whether they were going to file a bill of exception and then go through the 60-day period required for the perfection of the appeal. That wasn't done. So I think on the 25th of May, we now filed a motion to dismiss the appeal. That motion was scheduled to be heard on the 30th of May. It was never heard because the sheriff went out as it started, went out, they returned. But prior to the whole process, the whole case started off with the Fadika brothers, deliberately and blatantly defying the court and raining insults at the female bailiff who had gone to serve them, and they threatened to beat her. It happened just about that time when they were taken to the police station, and they attacked an AFL person, I think with knife. So they were leaving the police station when the lady turned up with a raid of someone. She explained to them, this is just a raid of someone. You can sign for it and carry it to your lawyer, and they just rained insult you. So 4-letter words on the lady, well dressed in her regalia, court regalia. So she came back and made a return. The long and short of it is that they defaulted on all the processes associated with the case. In fact, I'm looking for the clip because I'm working on a petition tonight to go to the Supreme Court. He posted something in which he defied the court. So after that, after we filed a motion to dismiss the appeal, it was granted. We prepared a bill of costs. It was only the bill of costs he signed for. He decided to sign for the bill of costs. He signed for the bill of costs, and then he had 10 days to respond, whatever he needed to do. He didn't do it. We then went back to the court and got a payment order. The court has to issue a payment order. That payment order was issued by the court. We went again and served it on him. He didn't do anything. He sat down there until the time elapsed. So when the time elapsed, we then decided to go back to the court again to ask for the enforcement. Now, this is where I'm baffled. At the enforcement stage, when you are arrested, because you're supposed to show property. If you don't show any property to certify the judgment, you are sent to jail. You are not released. You're not being released because under that condition, there are only 2 ways you may be released. Now, the enforcement process is provided for under the civil procedural law, and it's under chapter 44.71 subparagraph 2E, because it has to do with defamation. When you are fall under that particular provision, they can free you. They can only free you on one condition. If the parties, both the plaintiff and the defending party meet up with some discussion and sign a stipulation, they then take it to the judge. the judge will look at the stipulation based on the stipulation. Now, without any
without hearing you too well, Councillor.
The question is what becomes of the judgment? Huh?
You were breaking up, Councillor. Can we squeeze in some questions? Let's squeeze in some question real quick because we have your client in studio. Please allow us. Yeah. So what next? Now Fadiga is released. What next?
No, the question that way I was heading, I was saying, normally under that condition, when it reaches the stage of enforcement, the court doesn't get involved at that level until the man remains beyond bar. When the parties meet, both lawyers from both sides meet and decide that they issue a stipulation, they carry it to the judge, then the judge will now, based on the stipulation, release the person. But if the judge unilaterally and illegally releases the person, what becomes of the court judgment? That's the question that everybody is asking. So, what by what method? But I know who did that. I know who influenced the court to do that. I know the person, but I didn't want to go that route because we do have a remedy and law. You know, there's no problem in the court that the higher court cannot solve. So we're not going to make a noise about it. I'm sitting down in my office. I'm working on something. I know who did that, and I know the person was around that area. He just went and showed certain thing to the judge. Said, "There's the law." The person, he said, "Okay," but it's wrong. For somebody,
are you saying we are hearing Councillor Cooper? We are hearing Councillor Cooper cry. Is that Councillor Cooper cry?
No, I don't know, but I say I know who did it. But I want to keep my breath for now.
All right, I understand. They will call you from studio. I'm so sorry, guys. I have to babysit. Dr. Richardson, can you take over?
Sure.
You will call Councillor Seaforth. Nelson, can you please? And guys, I'm so sorry I have to leave you guys because I'm here with Levi. I'm very, very sorry, Dr. Richardson. Councillor Seaforth, they will call you from studio to continue, please.
Okay. Let's talk about some of our thoughts about what we just heard. Maybe we can start with a former Representative Gray. I'm just going across what I'm seeing in front of me. So do you have any thoughts about what, or do you want to add on to what, and then Mr. Kumar will come back to you, okay? We'll come back to you. You don't have any thoughts?
No.
Mr. Kumar? I'm calling Kumar. You have any thoughts? Anything else you'd like to add to the comments?
No, at this level, at this point, it is now the legal partner. So I will have the lawyer pursue the process as it is. All along since the case, I've just been the research guy. I did the background, whatever I get, I bring to them. To it. You know, I'm a student of law now, so this case has taught me a lot. They've given me some insight into the civil procedure, and that's why I was confident that these guys, and I was baffled that with all of the lawyers you have in this country, nobody could have advised this guy to sign for the summons. Go there first, go and hear what the case. You don't disrespect the judge. This is a respectful judge, respectable guy who has been in law so long. And so the fact that they did that, I learned from it, and I went back to the guys who are leading this process, and I left it with them. And this is where we are today. So I'm not going to give any other understanding beyond I will follow the lead of my legal counsel.
Yeah, and I have a thought, and I want others, if you can, to expand on it. Maybe you can speak to this too. I heard Councillor Sifa say that the Fadiga brother was released in a way that he didn't understand. Somebody presented a paper to the judge, and the judge may have understood or misunderstood what the paper said and released this person. How do you feel about that? Because it doesn't sit too well with me. I feel like that is exactly what I was talking about. The court being selective or not applying justice to all. So I'm just wondering, how do you feel about it? And maybe my colleagues can expand on this matter.
To be honest with you, Doc, we will follow it to its logical conclusion. I can tell you that for a fact. We know the law, we know the procedure, how you go to jail, how you come out, and those things are clear cut in our preview. So we're going to follow it again. Like I said, I got a team of lawyers. We're going to follow the process. And like I said, we will take it to its logical conclusion. You can rest assured of that. I'm not going to relent. I mean, if you reach to a point where you want to have a civil discussion, we can do that. But you're not going to suffer this process. You're not going to take this process because you have one or two things to your need. No, we're not going to do. I'm not going to do it. I spend my whole life trying to protect the weak against the strong. I'm not going to allow people to relegate or subjugate the our legal process into to certify the whims and caprices. That's not going to happen. That's what I was trying to tell the guys to get in the place. You have to understand you are within the comfort. You're in with the court. You are released by the mercy of the judge. So follow it. Don't come and try to press my button or try to be disrespectful to me in this public manner. And then
Thank
he
you.
starts to yell and shout.
Thank you. Dr. Brooklyn, you heard what Councilor Seifert said, and also you have heard what Colonel Abraham Kurma has said. Any thoughts? What do you make of what's happening now in the court system? Apparently, the Farga brother was detained and then released later, and then there was an altercation that occurred between both parties. Any thoughts about that?
Dr. Richardson, the only thing I would say is this. So, AB and his lawyers went the way of the court. That's the right way, the rule of law. If we can resolve something, prior to that, I personally always prefer negotiation over litigation. But sometimes, negotiation doesn't happen or it doesn't work. So you go to the court. And then the court has ruled in their favor. So even with the video and what Councilor Sifa said, yes, you may have some attitude on the other side that may be reprehensible, unacceptable. But at this point, I wouldn't respond to any of that. I think you've taken the high road, you're taking the right road, you go to court, so stay in that lane and let things play and don't worry about stuff. People will say what they will say, but I wouldn't react to the action. I'll leave that alone. Focus on what's before you.
Thank you. Hubi, Mr. Henrys?
Yeah, so like I said before, now on the show, not tonight, but when the whole issue started, I think I criticized Hassan, and he even unfriended me on Facebook because of that. I told him why you disrespect your boss. And I also applauded you when you went to court. That was the best thing to do, and you have been granted judgment. But today, I got disappointed when I saw you trying to get into assault, and I think you have recognized that on the show, and I think that's something that you should refrain from, and just focus on the law, the path that you have taken. You don't think that record, So I will leave it at that.
Well, Bobby, you know me. I exercise the greatest restraint you can ever find in this process. But if you are disrespected in some ways, in Madingo they say there's a parable. We say to come and wash your hands, let eat the grumpy. It doesn't make sense to me. That's what the kid are trying to do. But again, like I said, we will take cognizance of what transpired, and I'm not going to even give this situation any emotion. We will follow the law. We will go to court. We'll make sure that the new exit Republican is there for a reason. So we all stay here. We'll take this thing to its logical conclusion. That whole stuff hauling me into confrontation is not going to take any more heat from me. It's not happening anymore.
Thank you. Isidore, your thoughts?
Yeah, so when I was asking or speaking earlier on, I tend to make a joke out of it. And I asked senior brother AB, why is the rescue giving God hard time? You listen to AB's lawyer. Probably something he said very important that ears may not have caught. Boils down to the same respect for the rule of law. He said, if they arrest you and they took you down some beach, there are two ways by which you can be released. One of those ways is to have a property, and then the judge, whoever sees it, and then grant it, or the other will be the two party. None of these two things was satisfied. Our brother Fadiga has been released. The question is by whom? Like I said, why is rescue giving God a hard time? This is just an attempt to blackmail the people that they're doing something. You catch somebody, there you go, you release them. How you manage to release the person? Who released the person? Under which authority? Nobody knows. So I would just say, you take the thing home as family people, because this is just giving too much of hard time. Even God got too many things to take care of. He cannot be trying to solve rescue problem that can't end. He can't. The only get too many things to take care of. He needs to take care of me that the Brooklyn rescue problem cannot make here to be acting all day. Fadiga is a free man. Who free him? And he's supposed to be in jail.
Yeah.
So anybody care to know who free him? Why is he free? What judge? What authority? What law? What
We
anything?
gotta do that more.
I
We
think
gotta
this is
find
giving
out.
God hard time, and I think rescue, we tired with you people. Let you give us chance. Let some of us get time to talk with God too. That rescue God will be talking to all day. The woman tired.
Okay, I said so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Glendy. How you doing, Glenn?
Doc, I got anything to ask if anything.
Oh, yeah, great. After that, go tired.
What else I was saying? Let me leave it right here. I think I added my comments earlier.
Yes, you did.
Dr. Richardson. Dr.
Yes.
Richardson.
Yes.
Yeah, just real quick. Just for clarity, though, to Isaac's point, I mean, this particular case and the judgment, all of that, and it's billable, though. So I don't think he just walk out of the prison. So, AB, can you speak to that? I know you and your lawyers had that conversation. I mean, he didn't just walk out of jail. He probably had
Well,
post bail.
he was released by the order of the judge. I know I'd never had a conversation with the judge. Nobody had any meeting with my lawyer. I was just walking down on my way to my office when I was told that the Fadiga was actually being released. So I said, by whom? They said, no, well, you got to go to the court. So I went back. I drove to the court. I went there. I talked to the sheriff. The sheriff said, well, you got to go talk to the clerk. So I talked to the clerk. The clerk said he has instruction from the judge to release the detainee. I said, on what basis? What's the cause? Why is he being released? He said, well, that's the judge's question. Since the judge had left it, my father, the judge was not in the courtroom when this order was given. Judge came back after he got, I don't know who he talked to or what happened. When the judge came back, judge issued the order on and gave it to them, and that's how they went to get him from the central prison.
So
But your lawyers have not responded?
For me, delay. You're not going to delay the application of justice. For me, like you said, we are going to follow this. As I do, I understand God has a lot of things to do, but God will consider all of us collectively. There is thing in the Bible, the three attributes of God: the omnipresent, the omniscience, and the omnipresent, the omniscience, and the what's the other one? Omnipotent.
Yeah.
All right. God is present all the time. It's powerful, and He's all knowledge, so He knows everything. So at the end of the day, you and myself here, we just a pinch. I mean, I understand it. I understand the sarcasm. I mean, I don't. I know you're trying to be facetious, which is good for the show. When you have a situation like that, you have to put these things together. But
so sorry,
there would be resolution legally for this process, because from where I'm seeing these guys, I don't think ready for any resolution privately or the way people. I know Glendy is a mother; she wants us to have these things settled somehow. But with the kind of attitude you guys are putting up, I think legally will follow to his letter. I want to see it. I would have loved to have gone to the Supreme Court so I can be part of the LLR. So at least when law students like Vandela Patrice now, who's trying to go to law school, when they start to review these cases, they will see A.B. Krumah versus these people. I'll be stated.
You're joking right there.
I didn't give me the opportunity. That's the only angle that I'm having right now. They should have come to court, file the appeal. So we go to court, and we start to put. So I will be calibrated into the law, and tomorrow when Vandela then trying to read cases, they will read about AB Kuma, standard, Libert, and all this stuff. We say appreciate.
Thank you. I also want to emphasize the point that Dr. Brookler is making. How was the Titini released? Was it's a billable crime? Did he post a bill? We don't know. I mean, did he? So that is the question that needs to be answered, and maybe someone will answer this between today and tomorrow when your lawyer goes to court. But I want to bring.
I think you should call my lawyer. The standard said you should put a court in.
I know the studio is supposed to call him. Maybe he can share more light on this.
I can assure you, Doc, there will be a resolution of this process. I'm from Nima County, just so you know. In our village, my uncle used to make 2 farms. One to go to court, and one to feed the family. That's where I'm from Kanwi. You know what I mean? So we will follow this to its logical conclusion. I'm not going to, this is something, except where there's an alternative course of action, like what Bobby said, like what Isaac is insinuating. We can do that, but there has to be sign and symptom. But with this kind of situation where somebody giving you fingers, somebody's throwing tantrum at you, you're not going to. This is I have this case is done as far as I'm concerned. From the little thing I know in the law, is done. It's a different pleading they want to bring about. They can start it, but for this case, as far as I'm concerned, I have judgment. And I can take my judgment to Gompa City in Nima County and hold it there.
Thank you. I'm happy that you have a judgment, but I'm even more concerned, or equally concerned about our court system.
Yes, I agree with you.
Our rule of law, that says somebody has to post a bond to be able to get a bill, to be able to be bailed out of jail, and things are happening. But let me bring in Fandela Patrick. So let Fandela Patrick share his thoughts on what he heard.
Quickly, let Fandela call your TV off.
Oh, Fandela, Fubi Henry said you might be turning your TV off in the back.
No. It's just to give the reflection to the TV. It's not on, so it just show like that. So we're not doing a and the only thing you can see behind me, your eyeball shining like that. That's the only thing you see behind me.
What's it behind you?
Well, yeah, man, Fubi. But I think let me congratulate the former LDA boss for using the law. When everybody were asked to sit home as a result of the fracas that took place at the LDA, it was an unfortunate situation. And it's not just about AB Krumah, but this incident is going to scare a lot of people who might want to look at best friends to work with them. And politically, it's stereotyping. Someone might want to consider a friend to work with them. Say, you see how that man carry? AB carried that guy, and you saw what happened. Everybody lost. Weeks and no Liberians. But why it's true that judgment has been rendered, and AB is the victor in this situation. Redeeming your reputation is the most essential thing. Initially, I detested that this matter should not go to court. I was not in favor of this. I even called Mr. Krumah, I read in the papers. I said, you can't do this. Don't deepen the conversation, beyond this. And he was like, this is about my reputation. It's about my family reputation, my children. For somebody to lie on me that I am a dealer of drugs and I'm doing business with drug dealers in this country, according to him, he cannot. The man should go to court and exonerate himself. But again, AB, this is what I have to say. I know right now you know very well that the people don't have $1.6 million. You know they don't have. Even 200,000, they don't have. Yeah, they don't have it. And continue to open your doors because people will come. You know, the people will come. You know, when people are faced with certain situations, the first thing they do is to resist. Resistance is the first thing. Nobody wants to accept. But over a period of time, librarian can say, but let torso and torso, meaning there is time for resolution. The Fadicas will come. And when they come, they will beg. I'm not a prophet, but they will come. I want you, like Fubi said, to relax. The judgment is already in your favor. It is said that you can run away from justice, but you can't hide from justice. So there's one thing to run away, there's one thing to be noticed. So the court has made a decision. But I would be more interested in your lawyer. He said there were people who influenced the decision of the judge. And for me, I really want him to expound beyond that. I'm curious to know because we trust the court system, and I'm not sure that the legal system should be interested to favor certain groups of people. The law is the law. If the law say you are guilty, should go there. If this was an ordinary person, I wonder whether this judge will have granted, the release. I'm not in any way also suggesting that Fadika should remain in prison. But we're just looking at the level of liquor dispense when it comes to cases like this. Finally, this is not just a win for you, Mr. Krumah, but in my mind, it also proves that your dismissal was illegal because the evidence provided by the Fadikas, which set the basis for your dismissal or suspension that led to subsequent, reliever of your office, was not substantiated in court. It speaks volume. This is a wake-up call for those who are appointed to investigate public officials accused of corruption, misconduct, act of hooliganism, or abuse of human rights. This case must serve as a testament. Let me conclude. This case must serve as a testament that sometimes people willfully and intentionally lie on certain public officials. Public officials are human beings. And this is where I come in problem with many of my colleagues. When you defend a public official because their rights are injured or abused, oh, the man looking for favor. The man want job from the government. But when they are condemned, when we condemn them, then the other people clap. But again, we are all human beings. Being a public official does not mean that you are there to be wicked. Both in the past and present, there were good public officials. One of them is on this platform, and I always applaud him. I said, though, is one of those distinct public officials, deputy minister for youth and sport. I used to call him.
Mr.
So again, what I can say is
Mr.
that,
can you just
complete? AB, I beckon you. That anger, put it down, drink cold water, and be willing to accept the Fadikas. Please, we're begging you.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Thank you. I'm going to give kind of AB Krumah for some final thoughts here, and then we'll move on to our last and final topic for the day, which is the barometric system, the barometric system that is expected to be issued by the government.
All right. I was just reviewing the video clip that Hassan going around playing victim now. All right. But, all I can say to you, and I appreciate it, I've always appreciated the fact that I would be on this very elaborate platform. Mr. Fadiga, and the Fadigas will have the date in court. They will. They've been served. We passed through the process. The case has been adjudicated, as far as I'm concerned, and we'll be waiting for judgment call. We will have my lawyer said we will be proceeding to the judge office tomorrow. From there, we'll be proceeding to the Supreme Court. We'll see. We'll seek the finality of this process. At the end of the day, we will get back to you gradually. But like I said, what transpired in that restaurant was something that maybe I shouldn't have even gone to the restaurant
Yeah.
because it's victimizing and they're looking for a victim. You got $1.6 million. You say, "Oh, the man threatened my life." That's what everybody would do. They look at they look at me, Abi Kumar. I don't know what is on me that made it so powerful that the guys, when you say hello, Abi Kumar threatened my life. That's how they do. You can't return insult. You can't return that, then you threaten their life. You know what I mean? It's not a crime to be the former deputy inspector general of police. It's not a fun to be a government operative, a former government operative. It's not a crime. It's not a crime to run a security organization. If I were just a violent person, I would not be running to the court. So the kid, they don't understand that. So again, like I said, thanks for the opportunity to actually listen to these things, and I'm happy that things are still proceeding the way it is on the Spoon Talk, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was just a pleasing pleasure to have you here, and I'm sure you're going to come back to tell us some updates on the case. So thank you so much.
It's a pleasing pleasure too. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Bye bye. So we're going to transition now to our last topic for the day, and it's about the biometric system that the government is asking banking or financial institutions to follow. And there's been some backlash because apparently they started and then they asked governments and banking institutions not to follow, uh, asking people to show their IDs. So I just wanted us to get some thoughts of any feedback that you may have for the government. What do you think about the whole process in the first place? Personally, I think having a national ID is a good thing for a government in this country. Whether we like to say or not, our social security, which is the developed part of the world, is kind of used as your national ID, something to identify you in different situations. In fact, they're even moving to what we call the real ID, which I believe will have some other additional biometric information about a person in the name of our driver's license. So I just wanted to ask you guys, what do you think about the government saying, yes, we're going to roll out our national biometric plan, send out information to financial institutions about rolling it out, and now they kind of have backtracked on, rolling the biometric out to government, saying, and how that might impact people in the lower economic status in our country. So, Dr. Brooklight, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on that, and then we'll go to Fubi Henry, and then we'll go to Isidore, Sister Glendy, and then Fadela Patrick's.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. So just so the listening and watching public is aware for those who are not, so the government said that this whole national ID citizenship card, they call it, is mandatory for everybody.
Yes.
Everybody must get it. And to make that even more doable, they said you need it for everything. You need it to get a driver's license, you need it to bank transaction, you need it to go get your money from a money grant. Now, that's huge because that's where a lot of our people get their wages from the remittances. Uh, but the government did it and they made the announcement in a hasty way, which is one of those things I call the unforced error. So there was money provided for centers across the country. That didn't happen. And yet they made the announcement and with a short period of time. So the first thing that happened is the banks felt constrained And then they wrote and petitioned the government and said, hey, you can't do this. This timeline not realistic. We're going to lose business. If people don't have that thing, they can't come to the bank. And so it morphed to the CBL. In fact, CBL put out today. It morphed there because it was making it difficult. Here's my challenge.
Yes.
These things, I call them unforced error because these are organizational leadership issue is simple. First of all, we don't have roads. We're entering the rainy season. You got to think about the people. And Monrovia is not Liberia, my people. So if you don't got the centers yet in the counties, what a big deal with. Put those things in place so that it's easy for people in the southeast to go over here, and other people in the western region go over here, and then people in the central area will come here. Don't make these big announcements, stress people out, and then adversely affect the economy. I'm glad the government has now extended this. It's going to, I think, August 31st, and they're going to try to put some other things in place. The other thing I would say is this. The way this is being presented, okay, they're saying must have it. And I am saying it's a great thing to have, but those who have passports should not be forced to have it.
Yeah.
And then there was the argument, the counter argument is that, oh, well, it's going to have data we're collecting. Well, I'm waiting to see the form. Because I don't see the form yet that have all the extensive data, that will help you understand the dynamics of the family or the community. So if you don't got that thing, passports are still the universally superior identification for citizenship. If I got my passport and I go to the bank, let me transact with the bank. If you got your citizen ID card and you go to the bank, transact with the bank, they both of us have enough identification as citizens. The way they're saying it now, I got my passport, I'm gonna still get my citizen ID card. I think that's unnecessary.
Yes. I'm so thankful, Dr. Brubler, for your detailed explanation. As you know, as the kind of ad hoc moderator, I had to jump into place and find a topic as soon as possible. But your explanation was just acceptable and so detailed and satisfactory. So thank you so much. Let's move on to Phoebe Henry. Phoebe, can you please tell your thought on this subject?
Yeah, so this is one thing I have been, pushing for a while now. I told them, during the CDC time when the whole ID card, citizen ID card became one of the major discussion, we spent millions of dollars on NEC to do voter registration every election period. So I said that money that you take to go to give to NEC to do voter registration and give free ID cards to people, give that money to the National Identification Registry, let them issue the citizen ID card nationwide. And that same data can be used by NEC for the voter registration. And you can use a citizen ID card, update your record if you're moving from one point to another during election period, and you can do it. Follow best practices in other countries. Instead of trying to do free ID card for NEC that only lasts for a few years, and you get people to go and buy a citizen ID card another point, and you give, I think, 2 or 3 years on it. Other countries, you got 10 years before it even expire. So you even make it shorter. And like that Papa said, you see the rainy season, some of the roads, the counties are not accessible. So if you have a national plan and say, look, this is what we're going to do, no more wasting voter ID card on every election period. Let's use this money for our national ID cards, and you spread it around. And that way you even curtail some of these trucking from outside of the country where they bring, you say you bring in Sierra Leone, you bring in Guineans, you bring in Ivorians to come and register. So and you also have them stationed at different hospitals, to also take data of newborn babies. And also when you reach certain stage, if they need to take that photo, you can do that. But at least you have a national data on everybody, and you can progress gradually and solve that problem. But you can't do a hasty something and say, from today's date, everybody must go to the bank with get national ID card. That was unacceptable.
Thank you.
You can't put, it's very unacceptable. But it's good that they have realized it and they are called it off. and until otherwise order.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good thing that the government is keeping back. Yeah.
Dr.
Go
Richard,
ahead.
Dr. Richard, if I can have 10 seconds. So what to Fubi's point, today there was a call for the government to just underwrite it and make it free. I think that would be a great thing for the government to do, especially since we raised the VAT, put that extra 2%. We got extra money coming in. I think it would be great. Most of our people doing work, pay for it for citizens. Let people come get it, pay that $5 on behalf of all of our citizens. We can afford it, and I think it would be a great gesture on behalf of the government for her people.
Thank you. I said, so let me hear you on this. I know it's not going to be in favor of the government, but speak.
No, it's not about that. Let me just say first.
I know.
Since I've been knowing Phoebe, that the first time he said something that anybody can agree with. Every other time you can say things that yama. Today, Phoebe. So Phoebe, I give it up to you, man. I give it up for you.
All right, start attacking me again.
Let's be fair, Dr. Richardson. We discussed this ID issue the last time. Exactly what I said is what the government is doing. Let me put it this way. It makes 0 sense. 0 sense for a government to come and say, if you get citizen ID, you will not get no money from the bank. You won't do anything from the bank. It makes 0 sense. That is an idea of domains, weird domains. It is a good thing to have citizen IDs for identification purposes. That citizen ID can lead to many other things, even from school, from a lot of things. But to just come up and downgrade our passports in no time without saying you are downgrading the passports, downgrading our driver's license without saying you are downgrading it, didn't make any sense at all. If the citizen ID is for national identity purposes, how can you convince me that the passport isn't? How can you convince me that the driver's license isn't? I think that should be one of the, but not the only. And this is something that is funny. You remember the president passed an executive order, and we all know executive order is a law for 1 year. After the president issued an executive order for the banks to follow the law, central bank came and nullified the president's executive order. Is it a serious government? You know, Dr. Regis saying the last time, and everything we say, it will come to pass. Because everybody got their area of expertise, and that's where we are. The central bank again came up with another dummy idea that all bonds to the court should first be satisfied by the central bank. That is the craziest thought I've ever heard from a central bank. What that is saying, though, is that the central bank surpasses the authority of the court, because it is the court that determines if a bond is right or not right. So if a person goes to central bank, gets clearance for a bond, went to the court rejects it, and the person gets another bond, they will go back to central bank, the court rejects it, they will go back to central bank. It's almost like people who are dummies, like I would put it. When I heard this ID thing, I started laughing. I said, but what kind of people here? So these people, how does the government take decision? I thought in taking decision, you will look at the pros and cons, you will get views from people, you will see. If you want to mandate ID in no time, what's about the people in Grand Crew, in certain part of Grand Crew where there is no ID thing? How do they get their money? What's about the people in Meriden County, in River G, in some part of the places? It doesn't make the same way Josiah Joker came up and said he won't pay nobody through the bank. Everybody, through mobile money, everybody should get bank. Oh, if you went to River G, there is certain place they ain't got no bank. How do the people there get their pay? These guys are not thoughtful, Dr. Richardson. They don't sit around the table to debate ideas. They don't sit around the table to disagree and come up with real thinking. I think they are emotional when they want to take decisions. That's why every day, the only argument they will say the government can listen.
Yeah.
They will take the decision today. The people argue against it, and they can say, oh, the government can listen.
I say your points are well taken. Your points are well taken, Isaac. Especially when it comes to making sure that the government study and make and brainstorm ideas before implementing plans. I really appreciate that point. How does the government make decisions? Is kind of what you were asking. So let's go to Glendy. And Glendy, can you just speak about what your thoughts are about this?
So let me just say, sometimes when we have a government who and we gotta speak truth to power, when we have these kind of knee-jerk decisions that are being made and it's not inclusive of the citizenry of Liberia, then you're gonna get to the place where people were gonna criticize it.
Yeah.
So which portion of the population did they include in this decision making? That everybody was going to have a bank account, that everybody was going to be able to afford $5. How is it even feasible in a country like Liberia when you don't have 50% of the populace working? How is that feasible? While the thought process may be good, not everything you think about or you put forth is, I always use the people English word, expedient. It may be necessary but not expedient at this time. Secondly, I saw some people posting, you're not giving the government all of your information. All of us here have traveled to other countries. Nobody going to just give the date of birth out freely or the address freely. Somebody was saying, how is the government even going to say that we're securing this information that we're getting from people from an ID card? How are you securing it? What is the security network that you're set up to do this? I think when these and we don't, the government does not have to be making decisions, quick decisions that will have no impact. People will come back and criticize it, and then before they go back and fix it. I mean, there are educated people in the government. There are people who know how these things are done outside and in developing countries. You can't do this. You're expecting Man Water from Bonganima to have bank account. Man Water, even on the marketing what she gets, she may not be able to even get $5 a day US. And you say we want to do this, like Dr. Berger said. If this is something the government wants, plan it correctly, accordingly, and let the government take on this project for its citizenry. Let the government be the first to do it. Number one, how often are you renewing the system? So you just doing ID card once for life, or every 5 years, or every 2 years, or every 3 years? How are you doing it? Is the ID card replacing the in America now? You either get ID card or you get driver lesson. But if you get driver lesson every year, or you get a national ID, these things are great things to have, but they cannot be done without properly planning and looking at the cost and the impact on your population. So this one is a zero for the government, complete zero. Waste of time. They should have done it better. What they've done is no good. So let them go back now and go play. They want them, and I get call hard time for it. Go back, you're playing, say, call will take our time to come out to you. Honest.
Thank you. The government fumbled here. The government fumbled, so we can agree on that. Fidel Patrick's, your thoughts, please.
So, first, let me say a very big thank you to the government for rethinking to cancel, nullify this crazy and stupid policy. I was one of those that rebuked the government that this process was stupid. It had no sense. How dare can you prioritize a common citizen ID card over your passport? I am in possession of my passport, which is a legal instrument under our law, nationally and internationally. I carry my passport to the bank, and the bank is telling me, no, we don't honor your passport except your citizen ID card. I felt that decision was stupid. It was only intended to enrich a few group of people. But the fact that the government decided to pause, suspend, or cancel that policy, I want to commend them. What I always say is that everyone have the intent to see this country progress. And because we want to see this country progress, when bad policies are made and we come here, we rebuke, condemn, and proffer recommendations, and the government take it in good faith, for me, as a Liberian, I have all reason to celebrate. At this time, it's a win for some of us who said this policy was wrong. It's a win for the vast majority of the people who have passports, but they could not be allowed to access their bank accounts. It's also a win for the government because they were enslaving our people into abject poverty or hardship. But look, it's not just about this. I'm sure they are going to regroup. You know, the last time when I said regrouping is a moral necessity and a policy-driven tactics to allow policymakers to reflect on their initial decisions. I think the government is doing the right thing to regroup. However, awarding the contract to a foreign company, collect our data, your date of birth, where you were born, everything. If that company has it, anybody who takes citizen ID card and goes to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and say they want their passport, you can't ask them again for birth certificate because this citizen ID card has everything. It has everything. And what I was suspecting people that were going for the citizen ID card, the stringent measure that should have been put into place to bring a legitimate birth certificate was not employed. People were leaving from Bon County, Lofa to Kanto, one Monrovia. Monrovia is not Liberia. So you were just suffering our people. Secondly, this thing was intended to make certain people rich. No, calculate. Assuming 2 million people were to take this ID card, $5. 5 times 2. 2 million people. You're talking about what? That $10 million. Plenty of money. Assuming 4 million people, which I know it was not going to be possible, maybe even 1 million. One person awarded a contract to just bring this ID card. But yeah, I said, I told my ID card said 2022. Guess what? And I'm saying that to the government. It has only my date of birth. There's no expiration date. There's no date, the time I took it, nothing. I only have here my date of birth, my everything. I think it was a mistake. But I think it was given to me. I will not go there. I will just use it and just proceed. I think it was a mistake. But in conclusion, let me say this, Dr. Francine. This thing is void of politics. I think the feature of the ADICA is not correct. It's looking too fizzy. Look at the other one from Ghana. You live in the US, if you see just a common driver license, you see it has all security features on it.
Yeah.
Other one they're giving all in Liberia is not correct.
Okay.
So even if they decide to come by, they must have a very good, security feature. So it can just be, Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the show, Mr. Doe. I'm hearing echo in the background. Okay, welcome to the show, Mr. Doe. Just give us your thoughts on this biometric ID that the government intends to roll out.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson, Dr. Bople, Phoebes, Isaac, Sis Glennon, and Patrick, and all of our followers. I think this is a trending national issue that has sparked public debate. The fact is that the question comes to mind, who is advising the president? the president is either just signing everything that comes to him, or he just attending any program at will. Nothing is coming out of the executive mansion to the Liberian people. In 2024, President Boubacar suspended import tariff on rice. From 2024 up to this day, the price of rice have skyrocketed. Nothing is effective. When you suspend tariff on rice, our basic commodity, from 3,005, 3,006, 3,007, 3,008 LD in some quarters in Maserado, we expect it to drop. But today, even the 2025 suspension of import tariff on rice have never affected the local market. Commerce Ministry is sitting. So apparently, nothing has been done. This president, whether informed or by consultation, we don't know. He signed an executive order number 147, making it mandatory for all Liberians and residents to have a national ID card to access bank and other social service provider. In May 9, check it. How many months have passed? Today, the central bank and the very NRR is countering the president's executive order based on the existing reality of Liberians. The executive order is supposed to be for 1 year, but central bank and NRR have nullified, have canceled, have erased, have debunked, have rubbish, have trash the president's executive order. If this is a celebration for people who advocated for the executive order not to be effective, it should be coming from the executive mansion. The president should be saying, having listened to the Liberian people, I hereby revoke or cancel executive order 147. But a directive is coming from central bank. A directive is overshadowing. A directive has become more effective than an executive order. It just tells you the government don't know where it's going, they hear from the tail. Everybody is doing their own thing. And the president is just being put in a position to just be signing, attending occasion, certificating people who GAC, LACC have indicted for corruption. Ministries and agencies that are on the board of the GAC, the president is just awarding them best minister of the year, best institution. We are even cross-checking or fast-checking the performances.
Mr. Doe, can you please wrap up for me, please? Thank you.
So in a nutshell, I think first and foremost, we welcome the CBL, not the president. No glory go to President Boubacar in this case. The central bank governor, the NRR boss, they did well more than the president. They listen to the Liberian people, and this is not a government. This is not a government reverse decision. It is not a government.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Dr. Brooklyn.
Can I get 30 seconds?
Yes.
I don't know if Darius have forgotten that the bank, the central bank, is part of the government. So is the NRR. So
but
these
they are not powerful than the president's executive order that are problem. I don't know.
No, listen. Let me finish my thought.
Listen to what Dr. Brooklyn. So let's listen to what Dr. Brooklyn.
Let's listen now. Let's provide the information with clarity, okay? And let's not. We can add your perspective there, but please, the president gave an executive order so that these things might happen. These entities of the government, okay, having realized what's happening, is coming back and saying, listen, we want to suspend it. They're part of the government. They nullify or debunk none of that stuff. What they're saying is that the reality, let's tell the whole story. Money was made available and centers were to be prepared across the country. All of that was not done. People got ahead of themselves. The central bank, okay, which is the bankers' bank, have to have a big voice because bankers petition. I said at the beginning.
Please
I
go
know
read
what,
it.
man. Hold it. Don't do that. I
name.
asked Dr. Business P. I don't do that. You can say your own when you rather say your own. I didn't interrupt you. I know you're trying so hard to make the president and he look bad all the time. I just want us to be fair and balanced. So these two entities, don't make them look like they're civil society, private sector people who came and just they nullify the president. No. First of all, you have to believe that the central bank and the NIR put out a statement in consultation with the president of this government. They are part of the government. There is no way that the president would say something and they by themselves with it because the bank's petition, so conversation were had. So don't make it look like the president said one thing and the central bank, the other people said something else. No way.
It seems like everybody. Wait, come on now, Derek. It seems like everyone has an opinion on this. So we will go to our closing, and in your closing, please make your comments about this situation, okay? But I want to say that what I heard from everyone, I heard Mr. Darius asking who is advising the president, which is a question that many of us have asked on this show many times in different contexts. There are some people are asking that the president or the government needs to inform the public thoroughly. Okay, speak to the public, tell them what is happening, especially when it comes to something like national ID. That should be a ongoing conversation with the public. Sister Glendy talk about confidentiality big. Okay, where's our information going? Who's going to maintain it? That is something that we need to be discussing with the public. How are you going to secure the information that you receive? Phoebe Henry, I heard talk about with the expiration date. There's use the best practices in other countries. Have at least 10 years of expiration date. I think as it seems right now, I don't know, I heard somebody say, I heard you say 3 years. They were thinking about 3 years of expiration date. But at least in the part of the country where we live, Social Security was a primary item that was used, for identification. That is something that is given to you at birth. There's no expiration date on your Social Security number. So that's another best practice that can be considered. I'm not asking them to use something that is used in the United States, but I'm asking them to use best practices as you are saying. Drop payment, which they did. They dropped the payment for the national ID, which we appreciate because there was a call to say, how is Mawata getting it $5? That's something that we have to consider. Then, of course, something that is very important. I understand from one of you guys that there's a foreign. I think actually that Vendetta Patrick, he said he understood there's a foreign company who's getting the contracts to do the national ID. That is unheard of, especially when we're talking about giving Liberian businesses. That is just not unheard of. Even if we're not qualified for some people to say, we don't have the requisite to host security information, train Liberians, at least get some company to train us, find a way to help Liberians establish, this security company instead of just giving it to a foreign company. So that's all I heard. That's my closing. Let's start with Brother Dr. Uda Popla and then go across the board as I'm seeing you guys. And then Phoebe Henry, Isaac, Sister Glendy, Vendetta Patrick's, and then Daria will be our last person. We're closing now, so make sure that you wrap everything up and say what you want to say. Thank you so much for respecting the time and others. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. So what I want to say in closing is this. The government has its job. We, the people, have our jobs. The government's job is to do the best on behalf of the people. The people's job is to make sure the government does the best, which means we have to stay engaged. If the government does something good, I'll commend the government. If the government is not doing anything right, I will be the first to speak out and to advocate and to push back. Okay. When the Minister of Education, which by the way was our commencement speaker, she did a fantastic job because her speech at Cutting graduation was full of substance. But when the minister and the IG came up with that announcement that effective immediately, stop all parades for students, I said that's not right. We shouldn't do that. You should be able to allow students to have the freedom to participate and grant them the protection so that they can do that and not be in danger, still enjoy public safety. I believe you can do both. Tonight, the AB thing, I won't say anything, but I said what I have to say, personal matter. But as far as moving forward, what I would say is that the government is making some strides, but the government must work better on coordination and communication. I think coordination is not as good and communication is not as pronounced. Okay, not as pronounced. The Nobel laureate, Dr. Richardson, who was at our commencement also, because she sponsors students at Gardner. But she had a front page article today, and I'm telling you, it's deep. She criticized both Boycott and We Are and said that both of them together make Ellen Johnson cellular diamond. Yeah, cellular diamond, even though she was very critical of Ellen too. And the point that she made a good point. The point is very germane. And one of the things she said in her thing is that we're seeing some of the same things like corruption. Okay, the fight has not produced the fruit. And so the government has an opportunity to fight so we produce fruit and make sure it's measurable and communicate that. Of course, the deputy minister came back, he fired back and said, well, she's not paying attention. We do this, we do that. And I just said to myself, Mr. Deputy, you're not doing your job well. Because before somebody says something, you should be ahead of it, you see? And they need to help this president by coordinating and communicating better. If there are things that are happening that are good, let people know. But also if there are challenges, one of the best things you can do in leadership, Dr. Rizzi, is say that it's a problem. You'll be the first to announce that we have some challenges here, but we are working on it. But here's what we've done so far. And here are the results. Say those things. People will build confidence in your leadership over time, and we'll work along. Look, we all want the best for this country. And so I continue to be hopeful, but I will be critical when I need to be. The sycophant song, I never learned that as a child. I'm too old now to learn it. I can't be a sycophant at no point in my life. I will speak the truth. Thank you for.
You're still young, oh, you're still young. You're still young.
Yeah, but still, I'm too old to learn it. Which means I sing it. I sang it quite on my level. I don't quite I sing it. I know that song.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Dr. Francine, let me go quickly because now the time.
You got TV on your background and you're telling me.
No. At 30 hourly electricity can go.
Everybody get time.
Yeah, at 30 hourly electricity go. Mama, you're too sorry for me now. Hey, Fubi.
They see my way of time. They finish sorry for you, so I gotta respect the panelists. Okay, they say finish sorry. Fubi Henry's let go. That Fubi. I said.
Yeah, Mama, you tell me when you were there, Mama.
Don't regroup today. No, we finish sorry for you. That go.
Don't regroup today. You will stay on today.
I'll tell you. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Henry.
So when you hear Dara as they're talking, not even as citizen, they will always tell as CDC land. So don't blame them, don't fight them. They only pushing
the song.
They're pushing their 2029 campaign. So don't mind. So they better do it all. But in all fairness, look, the guys did not disrespect the president. They didn't override the president's decision. They didn't nullify the executive order. And, if you give a directive and there are something in the pipeline that causing that to work well, it's only good for stakeholders to come and say, look, based on XYZ, we put a halt to this on the otherwise order. And this release was released by the Information Ministry. It was not the central bank that issued the release. It's signed by the acting Minister of Ministry of Information. and culture and tourism. So we should know that it's a government, official government release. It's not a central bank alone, stand-alone release that's saying we ought this. It's not a NIRL stand-alone release. It's a government release. So there is no disrespect to President Bouaga here. So we shouldn't send that picture. And that's why some of us are here to counter some of these discussion. And on the issue of the president's return his message, like I said, I know great going is not here, but you're saying he went straight to Madam Salif's regime instead of dealing with the current issue. The president was clear that they got to restore governments, investors' confidence, and there's nothing wrong with that. And to restore it, you got to look for where the confidence was eroded. It was from the immediate past regime that he took over from. So it wasn't fair. So on the issue of free trade with ECOWAS, I've always condemned the whole issue with ECOWAS. It's not about ECOWAS levy. ECOWAS levy does not guarantee free trade, has it? So don't come try to tell people that don't know what they're saying. You can pay all your ECOWAS levy if the things that hinder free trade, free movement in ECOWAS is not working. It's not going to work. That levy is not going to change anything. And I've always criticized ECOWAS. I've criticized the AU for all of these things. We go to these meetings. We have all the good discussions. And when you come back, for example, when you learn in Liberia, they have land for Liberian citizens and they have land for ECOWAS citizens and other national. Go Europe. When you enter Europe, they will not tell you say European. They will not tell you, let's say, for example, you enter Spain through Europe. They will not tell you say Spanish citizen and other European. They say Europeans. So once you have the European passport, they consider all of you as one. And when you have their visa, they check you to the very first port of entry. They don't go around checking you at every different point. You already enter and the system captures you. So it's a unique system. So ECOWAS need to go to Europe and learn how they are implementing their policy, their European Union, and adapt some of those things because we're joking. And that's why nothing working. They just go to those meetings, sit down and take pictures and talk, and then come back to the different countries, and nothing seems to be working. And you're calling you alien. ECOWAS citizen, you call the ECOWAS citizen, ECOWAS country alien. And and you say you're serious. And you enter there, they ask you how long you can stay. You're ECOWAS citizen. Why should you be questioning your fellow ECOWAS citizen about length of stay in countries? So they need to go to those countries and have a serious discussion on all these free movement, free trade that we've been pushing. So it's not about the levy. The levy will not change the actual happenings at the different borders. How do we respect our ECOWAS citizens that enter our country from point to point? What are some of the measures we put in place to ensure that we see ourselves as one body and not as one body but with disjointed coordination? So these are things that they need to do. But like the president said, they have to restore government, the confidence. And like I said before, even the election, any government that will take over from CDC, I give them 3 years. They can't take the first 2 years or even do anything serious because the damages are too much. So they have to do that. And you had a finance minister on sanction. You had a minister of state on sanction. You had a solicitor general on sanction. You had a city mayor on sanction. So all the key sector of the economy that you see that are being affected. So every serious government, that's a tinted character on the government by default. So it's a serious work that needs to be done to solve that problem. So we think the government is on the right path and they will gradually work. They need to just work hard and correct some of the issues to solve the problem. Thank you.
Okay, Acido, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So I wanted to send this for it to be placed up, but I'll just read it for the sake of our people. So this says Executive Order number 147, sorry. It is from the President, Republic of Liberia. Mandatory enrollment of all citizens and foreign residents in the use of the National Biometric Identification Card to access all public and private services in Liberia. When you go all the way down to page 5, at the bottom, it says, given honor my hands and sealed of the Republic of Liberia, this 14th day of April, AD 2025, signed, Joseph Iman Boakai Sr., President, Republic of Liberia. And then if you went again on June 23, 2025, the Central Bank of Liberia, in collaboration with the National Identification Registry, has issued a directive requesting all commercial banks to relax enforcement. Who issued the directive initially for them to enforce? The president. Who issued a counter directive for them to relax the enforcement? The central bank. Somehow, some reason, somebody was explaining something about, no, they didn't do it, no, they did it, but the government, the innocent government, but the same government does not say you have the right to overturn the law. The president's executive order is a law for 1 year. No entity got a responsibility to come and say, no, we're not enforcing the law, we overturn it. If the president thinks the law he has created as the result of issuing an executive order is not seen to be necessary, he will issue another executive order notifying the initial executive order. That is only the job of the presidency. And that was, I disagree with, I can't was the last time I would disagree with you. I keep hearing this, who advising the president. The president been in government for 46 years. So, is it that the president too is not aware of these things at all? Let's start this, who advising the president. To see a serious government where the president issues executive order, say implement this, then the central bank can say no, don't implement it. It is an unserious government. Of course, that was, you put it rightly. That was a clear notification of the president's executive order issue that mandated the usage of citizen ID by the banks. And central bank said, no, bank, do not enforce that order. Of course, it makes sense for anybody to not be active in here and know that that is a notification of the president's order, but this is the rescue. But then another thing today, and a very sad event happened in Liberia that will make anyone to ask, what is going on? I'm not sure if any of you guys managed to see the video. A lady came from Canada, went to Liberia, who's kind of building her house. She was murdered in her home, her body taken out to be burned in her own mattress. It makes me to want to ask, where is Gregory Como? A Liberian lady in Canada struggled throughout her life, tried to return home to complete the building of her home, was murdered in the home. And that is not the end. The criminals took her body to get it burned in her own mattress outside of the house. Where is Gregory Como? Gregory Como is only a big policeman when it comes to political matters. That was a sad episode when I read it today.
Yeah.
Sad episode. And I will end up quickly on my brother Thomas Fowler. Today, I listened to Thomas Fowler in disbelief, referring to seditions in a demeaning manner as creatures. I couldn't stomach that for a second. For a man who had only one trouser, selling plank, to have been uplifted by the same CDC, to turn around and refer to people who are very much educated than he will ever be as creatures in a demeaning manner, I think Thomas Fowler should be ashamed of himself. Thomas Fowler is one person who can never stand with pride and dignity to defend his worth.
Okay.
He has been representative throughout his time. We know how much representatives take. But can you imagine, Thomas Fowler? I think that was a disservice.
Thank you.
No matter how you hate certain people, you always remember where you come from. And shame on Thomas Fowler.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for bringing up the Liberian woman who lived in Canada and moved to Liberia and got killed in Liberia. So thank you for bringing that story up. We'll probably, visit that topic tomorrow. Glendy?
So thank you, everybody. I actually wanted to close on that story. And thank you to Isaac for bringing it up. It's a sad day for us in Liberia, for someone to have worked so many years and decide to go home and build a house, leave Canada, go to Liberia and build a home, to be back home. The story is that she was raped, she was murdered, she was cut in pieces, she was burned in her mattress. That happened today in Marshall, in Liberia. I would hope that the police, the Liberia National Police, will go after this case and investigate this. Too many people have worked, suffered, died. This is somebody who could have said, you know what? I'm not going back to Liberia. She wanted to go home. A young woman who a few weeks ago was jubilating with her friends. And they posted, I read that today on Stanford Peabody's page. It's sad. I hope the police have seen it. I hope Gregor Coma has seen it. I hope that it's gonna it's gonna cause an awareness for him to go after this case. It is all over Facebook, all over social media. Everybody's sharing it. I will hope that the death of this young woman will not go in vain. Someone is responsible. Some people are responsible. That is the height of wickedness. But I will hope that it will clean the attention of the security apparatus in Liberia, and that they will seize the moment to investigate this case. This is terrible. It says a lot to others who may want to go home. After working for so many years, you want to go back home and better yourself and do something and say, I'm tired. Let me go home and do better, only to get killed. This is sad. I hope all of us listening to it, and every one of us who have seen it, I hope we can also create a movement, a momentum to share it, to ask the police to act. There are so many things that we share, so many things we talk about, so many things we do. This should be on the hearts of everyone to make it go viral so that the police acts on this case. It's just wrong. And that's how I wanted to her family who learned of the news today, to her friends. We want to say never mind, but this is sad. This is seriously wickedness. Thank you, Doc.
Dr. Richardson. Dr.
Yeah.
Richardson.
Yes.
Very quick information on the case. So today I had a meeting with Deputy Commander. I was advocating for a family in my community whose 16-year-old was drowned in the lagoon in Marshall. And I was concerned because I felt like the police didn't respond. It happened on Friday. I was in Swakoko, and I didn't get back until Saturday. But anyway, so I asked the commander came and brought some of his men, and I was concerned. I was advocating to have a family. I wanted to make sure that due diligence was done, investigation was thorough, proper, all of that. And he did say to me that they were overwhelmed with this case that Glendy is talking about. So clearly the police have been responding. And then today I follow up at the Douazon Central Command because they control both Douazon and Shuffling Town, and that's in their area. And again, they said that they have been investigating this matter. I don't know the extent to which they've gone, but this is very tragic, and I would hope that the police will get to the bottom of it. And I would echo what Glendy said, find those who did this heinous thing, and let the full force of the law take its course.
Yes. Thank you so much, Glendy and Dr. Brooker, for lifting this story. We hope to continue and Isaac originally brought the story up. We hope to continue to talk about this story, and if possible, if the police can even put up some sort of reward for catching the people, the perpetrator of this crime, it will be helpful. That should be the last resort, but if they can do that, that will also be helpful. And my condolence, like Danny said, goes out to the family as well. Mr. Patrick, we kept you here for so long. I know you're mad at us, but that's okay. We'll regroup and come to you now.
Well, thank you. Let me say thank you to Asido for bringing this situation on the platform. I hope we all can investigate. Let me say sorry to the bereaved family. Nobody deserves to die. Regretfully, it happens in Maigibi. And let me just give this as a disclaimer. The people of Maigibi believe in the rule of law. We condemn this action in the strongest possible time. We are asking the police, specifically Gregory Como. This is a high-profile case. And I had a time to watch the video as Asa was speaking. Imagine somebody came down celebrating, jubilating, and I don't know whether it was an imaginary wake of herself, or only for her to get the story that she was raped, murdered, and burned. This is uncharacteristics of Liberians, specifically the people of Maigibi. We condemn this in the strongest possible time. However, we are asking the police, all those seen in that video, they should be summoned, phones be collected. I'm sure when she came here, she had means of communication. Let's try to trace every record. Whoever that is in connection will get to the perpetrator. This is so bad. And the reason why we are laying emphasis on this matter tonight, because it has the ability to redeem the lost image of the police. Police, some of them, they are very good. They do incredible job. Why is it true that some of them, they are bad? And of course, in every society, you have bad police, you have good police. But this is an opportunity for the police force under Gregory Como to prove itself by going after the perpetrator and bring them to justice. That Liberians will sit down and celebrate that you can run away from justice, but you can't hide. And that police in the Republic of Liberia, they are capable of apprehending criminals or murderers, even if you commit a crime and flee the scene. We want this to happen. I am sick. I am so disappointed. Very, very disappointed. This has the ability to scare people from coming. Well, one thing I can say tonight, there are more good people in Liberia than the bad ones. And that is the reason why the police must work overtime to collect the few disgruntled individuals involved in sending a bad picture of our country, you know, to bring the perpetrators to book. On the issue of this citizen identification card, Mr. President, we begging you. I know sometimes when you take decision, it can be hard to kind of public to correct yourself. But it's a small shame better than big shame. The contract must be reviewed. Sending our data to a foreign company, at the end of the day, the population of Liberia will increase overnight. Our passports will land in the hands of the wrong people. Already, Uncle Sam is telling us whether we remain on the list to put visa restriction on us or not. Then you come here, you take the contract to print our citizen identification card that automatically qualifies an individual to go for passport. Because with this ID, you go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, there's no need for them to ask you, where is your birth certificate, this and that, because all the information is here. Mr. President, it's good to rethink this decision. If you decide to come back, we want the government to, for me, I disagree that it should be automatically free. We must pay some money. Even on 150 or $1, Liberian must pay. We must pay that not everything in the country will be free. We must pay. $5 is too much in my mind. It can be $2 or it can be $1.50. But at least we must contribute. Lastly, over a period of time, I came late and we were talking about so many things. I just want to bring this into the picture. The tendency of public officials bringing people who genuinely and sincerely critique the government as groups of individuals that hate the state. It is an indirect way of weaponizing the media against our personalities. If the government officials start to say that we on this platform, we hate the president, we don't like the president, you are indirectly inciting. I come in, this is in your interest, oh. This one in your interest.
I know,
Not
Pastor.
because you're not there.
Second,
Yeah, so you know, I've not been talking for long. We want this thing to start. When we criticize you, we advance recommendations. When people come on this platform, of course, I say though, Daros, they are seditious, and they come here to defend their political institution. Finally, the good thing I like is the fact that our brothers in the CDC then, they never used to listen when we criticize, we advance recommendation. Only some of them will listen. They used to say, we're not clear. The other man is not clear. Because we were not clear, we're telling you the truth today, that's why you're in opposition.
Okay,
and I can imagine the pain you're feeling tonight. Debunking, I wish you were listening. So I'm sure the CDC is learning from its mistakes, and the government too. They are not willing to make the mistake of the CDC. That's why when we blast them, the system inside they correct it. So for me, I want to say thank you. It's in the right direction. Thank you. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Doe.
Yeah, so I want to wrap up by saying, first and foremost, to join all of the panelists and Liberians across the globe to say sympathy, my condolences to the family of the lady. It's so sad and unfortunate. But guess what? It has been close to 24 hours. Gregor Como have not appeared before the camera. He doesn't care. A lady was raped, murdered, burned. The police IG of the Republic of Liberia have not spoken. Why is he so interested in capital building case? Because money is in the case. 1.8 million placed in the budget to renovate the John Timon. It disappeared. How much money going to the prosecution team that the LMP, the IG is in front? They are milking. Those cases like murder, rape, those things are not the police IG cases. It's not. It will not claim your attention. Nobody will investigate that lady death, like many other deaths. Even after what comes out of capital building, who to implicate, how to get the money, how can the government put money in the prosecution? That is Gregory Como main concern. But we send our condolences out there, and may her soul rest in peace. Nothing comes out of that.
Thank you.
On the issue of the ID card, for me, first and foremost, I am from the background of the movement for economic empowerment. And my political leader is Ambassador D. Maswell Kimia. We are in the coalition. I agree with you. All right. I am the national vice chair for NEC and Inter-Party Affairs. So, yeah, I agree. Say CDC, but we'll speak truth to power. On the issue about the ID card, the national identification card, when the government of Liberia was responding to Senator Edwin Snow's comments, it didn't say the Ministry of Information. It says the government of Liberia condemns Senator Snow's comment. The president issued an executive order that is by law for 1 year. In less than 2-3 months, the central bank and the very NRR is issuing a directive to overrule, to nullify, to condemn the president's executive order. And you can't be saying central bank part of the government. They tell grade students in the place they know that central bank part of the government. But this communication is not from the government because it did not say anything about the government. It is not official. It is from institution within the government. We expect this communication to come from the president, the executive mansion, because the president issued officially an executive order. There's no way to spin this and sugarcoat it. It is a slap in the face of the president. It only tells you that the central bank and NRR have realized the concerns of the Liberian people, and the president was insensitive to that. This is why he issued an executive order that was not informed. On the issue of the Fadikas today that have claimed my attention, we didn't see that in the capital burning case. A label judgment of 1.5 million, the man arrested in less than 1 hour after the arrest, he was released. Where did the calls come from? Who called? What play out? Why are we not hearing that there is a bond or there are part payments that were made? The selected justice, the same selected justice with Priscilla Cooper, she was equally charged with the same crime of Fonati Kofa and the other lawmakers. Today, she had never appeared before the Moral City Court. She had never appeared before the Criminal Court because it's a Liberty Party and that is a coalition. They're not going anywhere in this country. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Nelson, can you please come? We have a few happy birthday. I do want to give a shout out, and I also want to say happy anniversary. Did you check your email, your text message? Okay, please. Does he love? Please, he love you for love. Uncle Sam, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow and day. Shut up, Kubi. Okay, our next video will be yes, happy anniversary to Mana Grace Gua, the queen of Straight Talk. I want to say happy wedding anniversary to you and your husband, and we hope that you have a blessed day and many, many more blessed years to come. So thank you so much. Probably the next one will be in Isaac. Are you in the back? This is yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. So this is the artist specialist of the Doe family. He's the last born to our family, our mother. We call the man a small player with big number. You know what I mean? If you really know that, I'm sure that people know. Small player, small little player, but his number is so big that when you see a noise, my man, a small man, he carry kind of a big number. So, but anyway, Stephen Doe, happy birthday, my little brother, and I hope you're doing good. The artist specialist. That's the reason why I've been trying for Fubi not to hack in my phone because of this man. Fubi has been attempting a lot of time, but Fubi, you will not make it. You see the man you see on the screen. So happy birthday, Stephen, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Go in well and help. Thank you so much that I really for putting down.
Yes, happy birthday. Family Nelson, thank you so much for holding the floor down. Thank you so much for putting those pictures up. We appreciate you as always. Everyone, just thank you so much and good night. See you guys tomorrow. Lenny, good night. See you. Bye-bye.
Good night, Doc.
Good night.
See you, Pastor.
Well, good night to you, Dr. Richardson, Dr. Bopler, and the entire team. We want to say thank you for another great show. Thanks to all of our people, all of the folks across Liberia, listening to us on Spoon FM 107.5. We want to say thank you. Thanks to the folks on Fabric Radio 101.1 and the many frequencies across the country that are relaying the program. Thanks to Trust FM in Bomi County, Premier FM in Bong, Train Radio in Grand Crew, Radio Yalaman in Seclipi in Nimba County, and all the other radio stations for relaying this edition of the program. Well, we look forward to being here tomorrow. Spoon Talk will be back on the radio. You can make up time to join us. Until then, thanks to our online audience as well. I see Joshua Turner. Yes, Mr. Turner, thanks for joining us tonight. Dexter Twe is here as well. Telvin Payne, we appreciate you. Salifulan Yambono, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. Sir Johnson, thank you for coming on as well. The many of you joining us from across YouTube, Facebook, Durancy, we are. Thank you for joining us as well. I see a lot of you have been on. We want to say thank you for watching the program, for sharing your thoughts in the comment section, and to all of you who called in from the very start of the show. We appreciate you. The invitation is yours to join us tomorrow. Tommy Jr. and all of the folks, you can join us tomorrow for another great show. Until then, have a good night. I'm Nelson Collier, and they will come back tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Yes, sir. It's Mr. Y. From the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, right in the South Bend.